powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next.
Yeah, I don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational, but that's the beauty of the game.
Today you are denying funny face.
It's not my brother.
Today you are denying funny face.
I don't know him.
You don't know funny face.
It's not my brother.
You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Huabin Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
I would want to congratulate management and staff for how far they've come. GhanaWeb is the biggest portal in Ghana and even in outside Ghana as well. For the people outside Ghana, this is their go-to portal. And anybody outside Ghana will tell you that GhanaWeb is where they get their source of news from. I've had friends who are residing outside Ghana, and anytime there's news about me, and this time it's about me, they hit me up and say, oh, I read this story about you on GhanaWeb, I read this story about you. So it tells me that it is the #1 portal for everybody else, for both of us in Ghana and outside. So I would want to congratulate the management and staff for the work that you've done over the years. And I wish you guys well. I pray for strength, for success, for favor, and for special grace, that you guys will live on to be 50, 70, and 100 years. Congratulations to you guys.
Well, it is my honor to welcome you, Mr. President, to the White House. And I'm very much looking forward to our conversation today, which is a reaffirmation of the strength of the relationship between the United States and Ghana. And of course, we have deep and historical ties. Our official bilateral relationship began in 1957, but of course there are longer and longer-standing ties that connect the people of our nations. Over the years, many Americans have traveled to Ghana to remember the history of slavery and to honor their roots and understand their ancestry. And the African diaspora in the United States, including my home state of California, is significant, and our nation is stronger for it. We, these two nations, share a commitment to democracy. Last December, the people of Ghana voted in a free and fair election that demonstrated your nation's commitment to democratic principles and institutions. We share a view that all people must have a voice in their future, that our democracies are stronger when everyone participates and weaker when anyone is left out. We also share a commitment to global health. None of us have been immune from the ravages of the pandemic. We recognize our shared responsibility to collaborate, to share resources, to not only continue to address the effects of COVID-19, but to prepare for the next pandemics. And in that way, the United States is proud to be a member of COVAX and the African Union, and has donated more than 1.2 million doses of the Moderna vaccine to Ghana. And I'm proud to announce that we will shortly send more than 1.3 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine. Finally, we are working together to expand our economic relationship. You and I have talked about that briefly before we came in. American companies continue to ramp up in Ghana, understanding the significance of the work that they do there to America's economy, much less to the partnership between Ghana and the United States. And they do this also because they have confidence in the government of Ghana and the environment, Mr. President, that you have created, which allows for some confidence in the respect and upholding of the rule of law and human rights. And so with all of that, we look forward to continuing to work together on all of these issues, including in the context of the United Nations Security Council. And again, I am honored to formally welcome you to the White House. Thank you, Mr. President.
So, Madam Vice President, first of all, I want to thank you very much for the invitation to come and have this brief visit with you. Your country is one of the most important friends of Ghana and has been right from the time of our independence. We value the relationship, and any opportunity, therefore, that we have to meet with the leaders of America, we have to take it. And that is what has brought me here to the White House. Our commitments are very much the same commitments as you have. We want to develop our nation as a democracy, as a country where freedom and the respect for human rights and the rule of law are paramount to our system of governance. Our big challenge, and it is the challenge of all those who want to develop democratic institutions on our continent, is to ensure and reassure our people that democratic institutions can be a vehicle for the resolution of their big problem, that is economic development as the means to eradicate poverty on the continent. So that's the investment that we have made, and it is an investment that you have been very supportive of, and we continue to appreciate your support. We've had some difficult times in the country recently because of the COVID, like everybody else has had. Mercifully, its impact on us has been not as originally anticipated. It has been more mild than it has. Part of it is the work that the government did, and the others is the general environment in which the disease is working on the continent. We're grateful for the support that the United States government has given us in trying to deal with the virus, the COVAX facility, which America has been very strongly participant, and the support that we've had through the donation of the 1.2 million doses of the Moderna and the promise you've made that more is on the way.
Yeah.
Our target is to try and vaccinate at least 20 million of our people by the end of this year. The Ghanaian population is some 30 million odd. And I think if we can achieve that, we will then be more confident about defeating the virus in the context of Ghana. The other main preoccupation for us is the cooperation that we have to put together to defeat the jihadist insurgency in the Sahel. It's a major security preoccupation, and the G5 Sahel, ECOWAS, the Lake Chad Initiative, all these are the organizations that have come together to try and push back. I believe that's an area too where the support of the United States government, and it's important that we set out right from the beginning. We're not seeking military assistance in the form of American troops or otherwise. I know you've just had a bad example for yourself of what American troops in some areas can do. We're not seeking that. We are looking for support for our armed forces and for the intelligence agencies of our area, that they can be in a stronger position. Many of those who are leading the jihadist insurrection in West Africa are the people who came from Iraq after they were driven out from Iraq to Ghana. So I think that there's some information here that can assist us in being able to track down and deal with these people. So these are the main preoccupations that have brought me here to Washington, to try and discuss with you and through you to President Biden, and hopefully it will advance our mutual causes and also strengthen the relations between our two countries. I want through you to express my warm greetings to the President and indicate to him that in Ghana he has a friend in office, and the people of Ghana have a very good feeling towards the people of America. So thank you very much once again for the invitation. I'm hoping that it will be not the first or last time during this, my second and last term in office, that I have the opportunity to come here in Washington to meet with you.
Well, we are honored to receive and greet you. Welcome, Mr. President.
Thank you very
Welcome.
much indeed.
Welcome. Thank you all.
Mesdames, Messieurs, veuillez prendre place. Please rise to welcome. Debout pour l'exécution de l'hymne de la CEDEAO. Excellency, you may kindly be seated. Your Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Excellencies, members of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of States and Government, Your Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and ECOWAS mediator from Mali, Your Excellency Jean Excellency Mahamat Saleh Anadif, Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General, Head of the UN Office for West Africa and Sahel, Honorable Ministers, Your Excellency Mrs. Finda Koroma, Vice President of ECOWAS Commission, Honorable Commissioners, Excellencies, the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished invited guests, Bimvindo, dans la très chaleureuse ville d'Accra. Ce jour, jeudi 16 septembre 2021, se tient la session extraordinaire de la conférence des chefs d'État et de gouvernement de la CEDEAO portant sur la situation politique en République de Guinée et Mali. Il se tient présentement la cérémonie d'ouverture. L'agenda de cette cérémonie comme suit. Un discours d'ouverture de son Excellence Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, président de la République du Ghana, président en exercice de la conférence des chefs d'État et de gouvernement de la CEDEAO. Puis, la conférence des chefs d'État et de gouvernement procédera en huis clos. I now have the honor to invite His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, Chairperson of the Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State and Government, for his opening statement.
Excellencies, Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, members of the Authority, representatives of member states, President of the ECOWAS Commission, the ECOWAS mediator in Mali, the Special Representative of UN Secretary General for West Africa and the Sahel region, fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome all of you to Accra once again, and I thank you for responding to the call. With our deliberations centering on the happenings in Guinea and Mali. We're met today for further urgent deliberations on events in those two countries. Presidents, at the second extraordinary summit on the political crises in Guinea and Mali is a clear manifestation of the solidarity and commitment of the ECOWAS community to the democracy, peace, prosperity, and unity of the region. Excellencies, as we all know, there was a coup d'etat in the Republic of Guinea on 5th September 2021, and President Alpha Condé has since been detained by the military. That same day, we issued a strong statement condemning the coup, demanding his immediate release, and the rest have also condemned the coup. In discussing this issue during our virtual conference of 8 September 2021, we reiterated our condemnation, suspended Guinea forthwith from membership of our organization, and decided to establish immediately to Guinea a high-level ECOWAS mission composed of the chairperson of the Council of States, the Ghanaian Foreign Minister, the Honorable Shirley Ayoko Boutre, the President of the ECOWAS Commission, His Excellency Jean-Claude Brou, the Foreign Minister of Burkina Faso, the Honorable Alpha Bari, and the Foreign Minister of Togo, the Honorable Robert Dussey, to assess the situation in that country and report back to us. The delegation went to Guinea on Friday, the 10th of September, met the military leaders, and saw President Alpha Condé in his place of detention. They have made a report to us, which will be the basis of our deliberations at this emergency summit on Guinea. We will receive also a report from the mediator of the Malian crisis, His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan, the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, on developments in Mali. We are required to take informed decisions on these matters. I count on you, Excellencies, to help proffer durable solutions to the crisis. And I'm confident that, as in the past, we will rise to the occasion. I wish us fruitful deliberations, and I thank you for your attention and declare this opening ceremony closed.
We thank His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, Chairperson of the Authority of ECOWAS, Heads of States and Government, for his opening statement. This concludes the opening session of the extraordinary summit of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of States and Government on the political situation in the republics of Guinea and Mali. The Authority of Heads of States and Government will now move into a strict closed-door session. At this point, we request for all media to kindly please exit the hall.
From the dawn of time, people have engaged in several businesses. With the onset of technology and innovation, life has relatively been made easier. By using debit or credit cards,
mobile banking.
Thank you. And your favorite, mobile money?
tech has indeed married business. On BizTech, we spend time with faces behind known and upcoming businesses in the country.
Learn more about the new technologies and innovation,
as well as find out about the trending issues in the world of business.
Join us as we serve you with a variety of compelling interviews, projects and others right here on GhanaWeb TV.
I am totally surprised by the amount of waste gathered here at the Koligono Beach, which is near the estuary. You can find everything here, from plastic waste, medicine, sachet rubbers, shoes. Yeah, I can see a shoe right here, and old clothes. They are all heaped on the shore, wondering where they come from, right from the sea. Fishermen say they catch more plastic than fishes. We are here at the Koligono Beach to speak to these fishermen who are affected by these plastic waste to ascertain the negative impact on their job. My name is Paulina Deda Opoku. This is a GhanaWeb Special Report. Let's get talking.
When it was raining, that plastic used to come normally.
Okay.
And they catch plenty. But when it doesn't be a rain season there, they doesn't catch that plastic. Okay. If you are, imagine, see the
now is the rain season.
So by all means, the plastic will come printing. They will pass through the river and the Kole Lagoon and enter the sea. So when enter the sea, that will come printing inside the survey of the bottom of the sea. Okay. So when you throw the net or you lay the net, that pass through the bottle, that will all go come inside your net.
Wow. But then if you take a look at it, where does these plastics come from? Well, if you trace it, where do you think it comes from?
Those people, the market people, when they're selling it in the market, maybe you can't buy pure water. Yeah. You drink it, throw it on the roadside. When rainfall, all will pass through the gutter. And that, through the gutter, that will enter the river, the Kole Lagoon. Through the Kole Lagoon, that will enter the sea. Okay. So that brings the problem to us.
Because I can see that there are old clothes, there are bottles,
all these bottles you are seeing all from the lagoon, pass through the lagoon, come inside the sea. Okay. If you go to Kwama, go stand and see how there is. All be plastic. So then rainfall, all that plastic pass through the Kole Lagoon, through inside the sea. On the olden days, that in the drinking bottles or they are not, it's not normal day. Okay. But now there are a lot in the system, so they are taking a lot of the job, making drinks, making so. So you can normally, if you said they should stop in it, no, it shouldn't be that.
Do you come here every morning to buy fish from these fishermen?
No, normally I used to go to Tema Harbor, but once in a blue moon I used to pop in here. But when you come here, always, you don't even get the fish as quantity as you want. Because of the plastic weight, the sea used to blow to the up there. When they go for the catching, they don't get it plenty like how we wanted to buy it. So it is affecting them a lot in the fish catching. So that's all what I can say.
So for this bowl of fish, I guess this one is yours. Yes. How much is it being sold to you for?
For now.
Yeah.
He said it's 70 Ghana.
70 cedis. Wow.
Yes.
Fresh fish. I think it's a bit expensive, or what do you think?
Yes, it's very expensive.
Okay.
When they get it plenty, the price will come down. But they don't get it plenty, so the price will go up.
All right.
So that's why it is because of the waste.
But what do you use the fishes for? Do you sell?
I used to sell.
All right.
Yes. So I'm going to sell it.
So looking at bringing solution to our beaches, not catching plastic for fishes, what must be done? Maybe the fishermen, the community, and even the government.
The community must to help, and the government too must to help to tide our country and around the beach areas for us of the plastic waste.
They always complain that all the plastic is coming from the other end, Agbogloshi, where they sack the people, the Kole Lagoon. So always they are having plastic here. That's the challenge they are having here. So
the issue of plastics in our seas and on our beaches is a big issue for the country. What do you think that the people, especially those who live along the coastal communities, can do to help the situation?
Yeah. Unless maybe I will plead to the government. I will plead to the government to help them to find a solution for the lagoon. Because I can see it's not their fault here. That's what they always complain. That it's not their fault. We help them. We can clean this place very nicely. Before 1 week time, you see another plastic. So when they stop the plastic from the Kole Lagoon, I think we can have very nice beach here.
I'm a two no go kwame ha wo. Well any fire wo na fire ni kan be ene. Ka bia ye ni ye ton ayanjue e ka tua wo pa mi. E keke ba ka ho e keke due pe ba. Wo ka je ka due ba. E ke be due te nu mi ka agme ya ni kin. E ke be dun mama hwe ni bi kome ni bi na hi. Bo cho na chukun. Wo wi a hu. Wo le boni aba pe a wo don. When I know pay where I can mukuba be a little cherry by you, walk in the baby. It just what we are. No, tell them by a beer. Ona ne eja ka wo wie no ka wo wie bro che no ba bia ne bo na bo ne bia yo wo wie a hu ona fa ka ji ayeni awodwe me ni ba lo odwe bola ka ni bi pe bo na aka wo gota mi aka wo fa mi ke fa ka ho ke dwe pe ba bia ona ne dwe pe ba bia ke wo wole bo ni wo ba fe wo ha ona ne wo ka government lenche le ka che be ba sa le fine
o se yenya nkofo a sa nwure ba mo de container ni besi ho a ye be su egu
si de container ni ho
container ni wo de ba ha adwen
ye se mo ye bola na mo de gu ni fa
ko ehi fa na de begu ehwa na de begu ye ni bebi de ehwa na de begu nti ebe hia pa se ye benya container wo mpoano ha na ya se nwure ni nyina ye de egu kala ba fa ko ebe ye simple ebe me ha ye fe ti se mpoano na se ni ha ye fe no
de ba ha bebre bola nko a ewura no
eyura ni do oflu kromo
oflu kromo ni fa side hefa na o sha odi wani
oflu kromo oflu konkoma kaneshi
aneni yaba
ni nyina oflu gota nu o ma be se koloni ni student na ba ha no o ma be go anti ya stram mu ka cha ku fa do so on fa scambla on fa mama fo no me ye tuma wa so me so ampo anu
na mo ye sure so mo se science so mba bi ma na se ye di bola bi si ha sei se ba na nka mo se sa ko
ofa bi amba
ofa hwi amba bi amba bola tank ba ku pe no mu da be si a bola nu ye ma no omu da ko be chata no mu da ba no oda usta bola nu udu ko guwa no o ma duska
mu yo pen ta san papa no me ka chewo nti papa no mu ayo bono kra
usta bola nu udu ko no ma duska
no ma ji ayo mo ji mai
oh amutu mi jebe 2333
5 bola same plastics no
10 na di
bag ba ko na
10 na di enti so nkite skebia unkite so ku ja bola na you should have been puano.
On the back of the close season, remember they said you shouldn't go for fishing. When they opened the sea, would you say that you are catching more fishes now? Was it good?
Maybe no, we are not Lord. And we are not Lord, but Lord who created the fish. Maybe if we Lord the sea will be locked without getting fish. Maybe the sea will be open to get fish. So we are not God.
But looking at your catch, you know what when it was before it was closed, you knew what you were catching. But now that they've opened it after months,
I think it's normal small.
It's normal small.
It's normal.
Okay.
It's normal small.
So with the fishes that they are catching, do you know the name of these ones, like the long ones? What's the name of that one?
His name be Odwe.
Odwe.
There were other ones. One jam. Is that no? The one we lay on the. One jam.
So this one, what food can you eat it with? Is this your gakenke or?
Nah.
Gakenke.
It be normal fish. He used to eat every kind of food in the system. Rice, jollof, smoking it, frying it, all it will help.
What will happen? What will happen in the connection? What are you people one more that?
Premise food on an outcome.
And yo, MVP one more that. What on connection will be connection. What are your 520? 600 1 million.
1 million.
What's it? I want more that. I'm sorry, I want more.
Our next stop is the Premix Fuel Station, where you can see a number of fishermen who are here to purchase fuel. From our earlier interactions with some of the fisher folks, they claim that getting Premix fuel can be a challenge. They have leveled some allegations against the authorities who distribute the fuel. So we are here to speak to the head of distribution to ascertain whether these allegations are true or not. Daddy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. So we are just here. It's all about the Premix fuel. I want to find out from you, how is business?
Premix, I get politics. Be NDCB so be. I mean no, I mean do machine JMP MPPB baby. NDCB Premix kaba amambayo. shibede yo le jaga premise be pika ese cheni akeba e share many ya o effort mo gidigidi by if you shije na on premise MPPB insure na ni machine NDCB so MPPB ni insure na ami share nyuma NDCB so insure na o premise gagaba NDCB ami no ajela premise na on ejala bi na on le gaje che na gano on le eyakunwe na gano on le gaje che price chakiko government e bomodin wa agashi premise ejala ya anwe na gano on le
na onya tumpo ya kwa atuma etuminya nampa won ye du kokro so a grofo no tuminya bi tete otupo mu na obu epum na ya kokro mu na anya na anya na nam no mo kwai omo dwane akosoro ya anya na tete ayehu de ya omo na Michala po so ba mu pada omo da ba so mu chacha empo anofo no omo na nsu ye empo anofo no ni omo de ba no so a ntokwa so bem won ebi me plapla na de no omo de omo no call be bufuro no omo ko che scan na omo de ba no so omo de scan man pe no for no.
Based on the challenges listed by fisherfolks, let's take a trip to the Coastal Development Authority, CODA, where we'll speak to a head who will also tell us how best government can come in to solve the issue of plastics in our sea.
I think the first thing is for us to accept that this is a menace that has come to stay and we have to do something about it. And it's the responsible public authority should do something about it. What appears to be happening is that the waste accumulates in the communities or on the beaches. Then some good-spirited people once in a while get together and do something about it, but it is not in a regular public program to clean up. It should become part of our regular environmental sanitation program. The same way we clean markets and other public places, we should take out the responsibility for cleaning the beaches, especially the public beaches. When you go to the private beaches, you don't find that level of filth because somebody has responsibility and make sure the beaches are clean. In the same way, the public beaches, somebody has to take responsibility and the cleaning must become a regular feature. So therefore, for instance, the assemblies responsible for those areas must make adequate budgetary allocations to these things and organize programs to clean up. I do agree that they may not have enough of budgetary allocation, but they should take the lead in organizing such that others could come on board and regularly we clean the beaches. So until we mainstream cleaning of beaches, the problem will remain with us. I really don't think that the local communities should bear the responsibility. Most of the litter or the garbage comes from upstream.
And then some concerns that they raise is that sometimes they clean up because every day you see plastics there. Yep. But then there are no cans where they can dump it. And even with the available ones, they end up paying more. So imagine you gather rubbish which you didn't generate, but then you have to pay like 2 cedis, 1 cedi, 5 cedi for it. So on the back of that, as you stated earlier, the assembly can come on board. But then if there are no cans available, of course, where do you expect that they put their rubbish, which they say they are going to dump it right into the sea?
Municipal waste. It will always flow to the lowest area, and the communities are always in the lowest areas. So they cannot continuously be cleaning up for the guys upstream. I do know that efforts have been made by some organizations to provide some of these things. And I think as the beach menace becomes more and more of a problem, other organizations will come on board. CODA is currently planning a project to pilot a sustainable clean beach program. The idea is to set a benchmark for others to see what could be done, so that sustainably we could start addressing this problem. And provision of some of these things is part of what we're planning to do.
Do you have any timeline for this project that is underway?
We want to, by the end of the year, to be able to start physically putting things down on the ground and rolling it out so that everybody can see that somebody is going to do something about this problem.
So one will say that government will be doing its best. People who live around the coastal areas they will say they clean up the beaches. But on the back of single use of plastic, which has been a major issue, because every time plastics are being generated, people are using it single use. Some people have called for the ban, others who are saying that we should regularize it. But then what do you think that Ghana can do in solving this whole issue of plastic?
We should deal with the issue of plastic waste the same way we deal with all waste. It will always be generated, and as such it must be processed into another form, either for disposal or for recycling. Every single day plastics will always be used. We need them in our life, but then we must identify that after we use them, they turn into a form which is not useful to us. So we have to then mainstream this business of plastic waste recycling or proper disposal. For a long time we've just chosen to neglect it, but we can't. Now it's become so big a problem that with the markets, we sweep the markets every day. In the same way, we must develop a program for all the beaches, all the locations, everywhere. And then those responsible, we have to encourage them to take it up and then work on it on a continuous basis. It is a daily problem. So we just have to accept that as a problem, and we have to plan and implement programs to deal with it continuously.
So you're preaching recycling, so plans.
Recycling is one. What I'm actually preaching is accepting that it is an issue that will not go away. So we have to plan for it, and every single day of our life take actions to reduce that. I, for instance, think that the assemblies, the assemblies are assessed every year. There's a certain evaluation they do for them. They check certain things. I think for every assembly that has a beach, the state of cleanliness of the beach should become one of the assessment indicators. The same way they check the state of the markets and then the public toilets, the beaches should be. It should. And once you place that responsibility on them and they realize that there will be a systematic assessment every year, they will do something about it. I don't think there's any new thing required. We have all the laws and then the regulations and whatever is required to keep our country clean already on the books. We also have institutions, agencies, individuals with mandates to enforce these things. If we just start enforcing our existing environmental sanitation rules and regulations, that basically alone will wipe out more than half of the problem. I can assure you. So it's the wake-up call should be for all of us who are supposed to be doing some kind of work in this direction to do our work, and for those who are supposed to be whipping us into line to also whip us into line. And like I said, I think the assembly should be held responsible for this beach waste thing. We must have a way of naming and shaming those who are not doing what they should be doing. And of course, we need help from media, civil society, all other advocacy groups to drum home the fact that if you generate waste and you don't deal with it, you will eventually end up living in a bola. As simple as that. What I'm actually preaching is accepting that it is an issue that will not go away. So we have to plan for it, and every single day of our life take actions to reduce that. I, for instance, think that the assemblies, the assemblies are assessed every year. There's a certain evaluation they do for them. They check certain things. I think for every assembly that has a beach, the state of cleanliness of the beach should become one of the assessment indicators. The same way they check the state of the markets and then the public toilets, the beaches should be. It should. And once you place that responsibility on them and they realize that there will be a systematic assessment every year, they will do something about it.
I agree to that too. And then away from plastics, I know Koda is more helping people along the coastal areas when it comes to development. One of the issues that they raised, fisher folks, was that during the close season, things become very hard because they don't go fishing where they can cater for their family and all that. So they've made a call to authorities that during that time they need help. Help not in just maybe a bag of rice or tomatoes and then you are done. So looking at the bigger picture, it looks like maybe every year we'll have a close season. So what do you think can be done for these coastal dwellers?
The closing of the season is a very good thing. I mean, it allows the resource to regenerate. So ultimately, they benefit from it. But like all other human enterprises, as we work, we save. We know that there are times that we will not be able to be making income immediately. So I think people should come to the realization that it is a necessary thing that they allow the fish stock to regenerate during a certain time. And as such, they must plan for that time. Whatever they make in the 11 months, they must set something aside, knowing that there's going to be 1 month where it won't happen.
So I want to find out as Koda, if you have embarked on any projects that has been beneficial to these coastal dwellers. At least give us a general view of what you have done, your contribution so far.
Koda has done a lot under its IPEP program, Infrastructure for Poverty Eradication program. I mean, a needs assessment was carried out at the early stages where coastal dwellers indicated what their priorities were. Some of those priorities were taken on board, and Koda implemented projects to bring those priorities to life. Koda also started, and in fact is still engaged in, a massive support program to fisherfolk, where we have a outboard motor subsidy program. You see, that fishermen who have need of engines for their boats can come to Koda. Once we identify that you are truly a fisherman, there's a massive subsidy. It's about 50% of the cost of the engine that is given to the fisher folks as support. And it's not just the engine, it's a whole program. It is the engine, it is a maintenance support program, it's a training program for how they will keep these things running very well and all that. So that is a huge support. I think there are about 5,000 engines that have been procured to support fisher folk, all the way from Axim running in front of Accra to Keta. So that is a very direct support.
Fisher folks say they are ever ready to partner with government and other private organizations to ensure that our beaches are clean and safe. They have listed a tall list of challenges facing them, right from all the things that they went through during the close season and how best governments can help to ensure that they catch more fishes instead of plastic. To you at home, in your offices, in your workplace, do well to properly dispose your waste in order not for it to end up right back into the sea. Be a citizen and not a spectator. We all can join hands to ensure that plastic waste is disposed of properly. My name is Paulina Deda Okuku, reporting for GhanaWeb.
Powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next.
Yeah, I don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational, but that's the beauty of the game.
Today you funny face. It's not my brother. Funny face. I don't know him. You don't know funny face. It's not my brother. You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Huabin Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
Would you love to have fruits for breakfast, bread and tea for breakfast, sandwich for breakfast, or would you rather have kenke for breakfast? Hi guys, we are back again. Chale, how are you doing? I miss you all. So, is Ghana expensive when it comes to food? In this video, we are going to be seeing cost of living in terms of food. I mean, for breakfast, lunch, dinner. So it's very easy to see bread sellers around early in the morning, and so yeah, I've met a very beautiful lady here, and I'm buying bread, tea bread, and margarine. So the bread cost me 1 cedi, 50 pesos. So I'm coming to get Nescafe and Idol milk. Yeah, Nescafe and milk cost me 2 cedis, 50 pesos. Thank you. I'm making a YouTube video. Do you want to come? Do you want to come? Say hi.
Hello. Hi, my name is Esther Muriku, and this place is Dynamo.
Yeah, so whenever you're in Jowulu, come here and come and shop for your goods. So it's very easy to find any local provision shop in your area. I mean, almost every area has a provision shop, and just close to my office is this shop. And so I chose to buy Nescafe. What did you spend on your breakfast today? What did you eat?
I drank oats with extra milk and 1 cedi bread.
You bought it or it's from home?
I bought it.
Okay, so I spent 4 cedis in all for breakfast, and you guys are going to have breakfast with me. So let's go. I mean, she spent less than 5 cedis, same as I did. So let's go and have breakfast. Chinedu.
Hello, Stella.
You're looking nice.
Thank you.
What did you have for breakfast today?
My normal oats.
How much did you spend?
5 cedis.
5 cedis. So is this the usual amount you spend on breakfast?
Oh, yes. Not usual, but sometimes I spend more.
More than. What's the highest you spend on breakfast?
It shouldn't be more than 10 cedis.
10 cedis. Okay.
You can subscribe to my channel, Ladies Well, on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.
She also does YouTube, so do well to visit her channel, show her some love. She's doing amazing. So today is one of those mornings that you wake up and all you want is something very heavy like kinky. So my kinky is here. This is what I'm having for breakfast. And the fish is 6 cedis, the kinky is 2 cedis, that's 8 cedis. Usually when I eat kinky in the morning, it can last me the whole day because it's a heavy meal. So maybe the only meal I will have later in the night is maybe dinner, which will be something very light like fruits or vegetables. So yeah, that's the update with today's meal. Yeah. So kinky is made with corn, and this is shito, locally called shito. It's black pepper, red pepper. This is tomatoes and green pepper, and this is also the green sauce only together with some onion. So this is how the kinky looks like. So this is kabo for breakfast. And you know there are some days that you want to eat something bougie, something I mean a meal that you know you don't usually eat, it's once a while. So I went to my favorite restaurant, it's called the D Cafe, and I went to get myself sandwich together with some hot tea, and that is expensive for me because it cost me 49 Ghana cedis for breakfast, which is very expensive, but I think it's worth it because once a while you just want to have that feel. I don't know if you understand. Are you like me? Once a while you feel like eating something bougie, you go for it? Let me know in the comment section. So I just got local meat pie, and one is 2 cedis, and so this is what I'm having for breakfast together with a beverage, maybe Lipton. So I'm getting one of these, which is Vita Milk Banana. Auntie, am I saying? It's 5 cedis. So this is also another expensive breakfast. So I'm going to have meat pie and something milky. So you see how I spent 2 cedis on meat pie for breakfast, just one meat pie. There are other places that meat pie is expensive, so it depends on the area and it depends on what you're also looking for. Some people think when food is cheap, it's not healthy, or it's not the best, or it's not of maybe it's not hygienic, you know. So it depends on you and what your stomach can take. If you try this and it doesn't go well for you, then you go for the expensive one, because there are meat pies that cost 30 Ghana cedis, which is very expensive for a day you don't have enough money. Today like this, I don't have money. A girl is broke. And so I already have planned what I'm going to eat in my head, which is fufu for lunch. And I don't usually do dinner, except for just fruits, because I'm checking my weight, and also maybe sometimes when I get home and there's food like soup, if they prefer. Me in my house, they eat banku almost every day. We eat banku every day. Like one of the foods that you will get in your house, in my house, is banku. So when I don't want to eat bangu, maybe I'll just drink the soup or something. But I usually don't eat at night. So that's just for me. Are you enjoying the video so far? Let me know in the comment section which of the breakfast or the lunch or the dinner is your favorite. So let's go. So one thing about Accra is most every area has like a local joint. They sell like local foods. You can get things to buy like kenke, local foods, wache. But if you live in a residential area, a very bougie area, I'm sorry, you have to come to the local side of town. Good morning. Local side of town before you'll be able to get like local food for cheap prices. Most often in this bougie or residential area, you kind of have like kenke for very expensive. You can buy kenke for like 2 cedis, but you end up buying your fish for 30 Ghana cedis, which is very, very expensive for a local meal. So yeah, it depends on your area, but it's very common to find local joints to get something to eat in the morning. So this is my change, 11 cedis, and so I spent 9 cedis on lunch, and the usual amount of money I spend on lunch if I want to go local is about 10 cedis a day, and so spending 9 cedis means I get to save 1 cedi for another day. So yeah, that's the update on today's. So this is my lunch. We satisfy this food in Jesus' name. Amen. You're invited. This is locally called gobe. It's beans, gari, plantain, and sausage. So I also bought pineapples after. See, I've not even finished eating, but I already have my dessert. It cost me 3 Ghana cedis for the pineapple because of the pack and because of the packaging and the fruit is 3 cedis. Hi, Kendicta. Hi. I can see you're enjoying your lunch.
Yeah.
How much do you usually spend on lunch?
I usually bring lunch from home.
So you don't spend?
No.
And how much does it cost to prepare a meal?
Well, it's homemade, so...
like you prepare for the week?
Yeah.
So how much do you think you spend for the week in terms of preparing a meal? You can't tell? Yeah. It's relative?
Differs.
Okay, it differs because of the meal?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, alright. But how much would you be willing to spend for lunch?
Maximum 10 cedis.
Okay.
But once it's from home, obviously, it'll be more than 10 cedis, the quality and everything, but it's worth it.
Okay. It's time for lunch, and I'm getting lunch just around my office. So it's about 5 minutes drive from my office, and it's one of also my favorites around. I mean, once I discovered food around, I like to stick to old things. So I'm going to get jollof and salad, which will cost me 12 Ghana cedis. Let's go. Happy belly. Global. Yeah, on Global. Oh, okay. So she's right close to Special Ice, and so come and buy your jollof. So I am currently at my favorite spot, which is called Okwadienkwine, with my beautiful friend. Hey. So I got my fufu, tilapia, and goat, which costs 24 cedis. Stella is also having chicken. What's your chicken and fish? How much is yours? 22. Okay. So I'm spending more than she is today. So you're all in. Made a new friend. So how much did you spend on your meal?
About 50 cedis.
50 cedis. Oh, then it means.
Okay, let's say almost
70 cedis. Oh, okay. Is that how much you spend on a meal every day?
It depends on where you go.
Okay. So let's say for a local breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
typical breakfast.
Yeah, like cocoa. You don't do breakfast, so you eat heavy.
I eat twice a day.
Oh wow, I feel you.
In the morning, I take 3 shots of adobo. So I'm not taking my breakfast.
Oh, this is breakfast. All right, thank you so much.
Then my dessert will be omutu.
Wow. Thank you so much. So this is what I'm having for dinner, and this is coconut, local coconut. This is 2 cedis, 50 pesos. It's almost 6 p.m. here at the moment, so I know for sure that I'm sure by the time I'll get home with this coconut will do for me. It's a Friday night, so I'm just going to chill, relax, edit some videos for you, and so yeah, that's how my that's how my Friday is going to be like. So he just asked me if we should take the coconut inside. How do you guys call it? Is it called pop? Let me know in the comment section if you know the inside of the coconut, the white parts, what the English name is. So guys, this brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed documenting my entire experience. So guys, let me know in the comment section, how much do you spend on breakfast and lunch? In fact, how much do you spend in a day on food? So I can say on my average I spend about 25 cedis, which is about $4, and when I want to go when I want to spend more, I spend about $16. That's about 100 Ghana cedis. Let me know in the comment section, is food in Ghana expensive from the look of all the food I've documented? Let me know in your country, how expensive is food? Until next time on my next video, I love you all. Let me know in the comment section too if you want more of this, if you want an average cost of living in Ghana in general, that is from food, lifestyle, everything. Let me know in the comment section if you want that, and the next time I would bring that in my next video. Anyway, next week is my birthday. It's on the 16th of September, and so I'll be going live on YouTube. Catch you guys. Come and support your girl. Come and wish me happy birthday. And I'm sure, I mean, it's my birthday. I get to feel it. I get to experience a birthday with you, you know? So guys, until next time.
Continue thriving and obviously achieve higher, and everybody knows that even though I'm not working with them again, but my personal relationship with the owner and many of the management and the staff, it is where my heart is. So I wish them very well, but I'm sure that even without wishes they will still do very well.
Welcome to another edition of Say It Loud. My name is Lord Harisidasari. What I'm holding here is a ticket which is Netherlands bound. Now I'm holding this because a couple who had boarded a KLM flight were, for want of a better word, thrown off or denied the flight because they were campaigning or trying to judge against KLM's current directive about 7 vegetarian meals on African flights. My name is Lord Harisidasari. When we return from the break, we'll be speaking to one of the victims, the husband, actually. He'll be telling us exactly what happened last night, which was September 15th. Do stay, the conversation continues. Welcome back. My name is Lord Harisidasari. Now, today our guest is Nico van Stadenijn. He, together with his wife, were aboard the KLM flight bound to the Netherlands. They were supposed to arrive there tomorrow afternoon, actually. But let me just ask him himself He's here and he's going to tell us exactly what happened and everything that has to do with it. Nico, thanks for speaking to us. Now, tell me, GhanaWeb did a story about the fact that you and then your spouse got blocked from flying the KLM flight because you were sharing some tracts and whatnot about the KLM directive. Give me more details about that. How did this entire thing happen?
First of all, I'm a frequent flyer, and KLM is my favorite airline.
Okay.
What happened is that last week I read in the international news, but also in Dutch news, that KLM had the intention to go green and had the intention to only serve vegetarian meals on its flight.
Okay.
Except for some destinations where people are big meat lovers, like destinations to Texas, to Argentina, and that kind of things.
Okay.
What I did was actually a joyful action to make clear to KLM that African people, Ghanaians, also love meat. A Dutch person will buy 3 times 100 grams meat for his family. A Ghanaian buys 2 kilo or half an animal at the same time.
Okay.
We also love meat. On top of it, KLM flights are already, partly through taxes and partly through their booking system, more expensive than 2 other flights on a 6-7 hour flying destination. So if you already pay more, you can easily serve us meat on the flights.
Okay.
So what I did is I printed at my own cost 2 banners and 300 leaflets to make the Ghanaians aware of this. And what I actually wanted is that some of the reactions would reach KLM and made them aware that African people also love meat, and try to get them away from the plans to go vegetarian on African flights.
Okay.
We had the attention, what I hoped for. What I didn't hope for is not even me being thrown from the flight, but the reactions in Ghana, who are in the majority very, very negative about KLM.
Okay. What time was your flight?
I was supposed to fly 10:10.
Okay.
And what happened was we were seated in our seats already, row 18. The purser came to us and asked if we were the people spreading the lies. I said, what lies are you talking about? Yeah, that we're going vegetarian. I said, well, here are 3-4 websites, even 2 were from the Dutch press, that KLM is going veggie. And that's why I'm trying to make the people aware that they shouldn't do that on African flights, because you're going to lose a lot of customers. And she was laughing a little bit about it, and she said, what is this next to you? And that was a rolled up banner. And I said, that's a banner, and I want to take a picture with my wife holding the banner.
Okay.
She said, that's not allowed, and I'm confiscating your banners. I said, fine, but beware what will happen. What is supposed to be a positive action to try to change the minds of KLM management is going to be a negative action, because tomorrow morning I'm going to the press in Amsterdam that I couldn't take a picture with my banner, and it will give a lot of negative reactions for KLM. And she said, are you threatening me? I said, I'm not threatening you. I'm only telling, keep this positive. I'm not hanging the banner anywhere. I'm not opening it even. But my reason for doing this is that I want to stop KLM from these bad intentions. And if I can't do it in this positive way, by all means it will end up in a very negative way, because I still think KLM shouldn't cancel meat and chicken and fish on their flights, especially not on their international flights. She walked away. She came back 2 minutes later with the captain. And the captain said, I've been threatening the stewardess. And even the person sitting on the other side of the aisle said, that's absolutely not true. He never threatened her. They've never exchanged harsh words. They were very polite. The captain, and I said, yes. And all I wanted to do is open the banner. She said I couldn't. She will confiscate it. And I said,
I was waiting for her to come and take the banner.
Did the captains
The
say
captain said,
anything about...
I'm not going any discussion with you. You're leaving my flight now. My son is a pilot, so I've been a frequent flyer for many, many years with 2 different airlines, so I know how it works on board of a plane. So I said, no problem. We packed our things and we walked out.
What time was
no
this?
protest on the flight, nothing. That was just before takeoff.
Wow.
Whilst I walk out, my wife is speaking perfect Dutch, because she lived in Holland for 16 years. She heard that stewardess telling her colleagues that we've been threatening her and that's why we are removed from the flight. So my wife turned around and said, who has been threatening you? Because nor my husband nor I have threatened you. Don't lie about what is happening to justify your mistakes. Then we continued going back to the check-in area. We opened the banner, this time really out of protest, and took a picture. The airport police came, we explained the whole case. They themselves were saying, yeah, that's very bad. They think Africans don't like meat, and they think we are poor, and that's why we are not used to meat. We also love our meat. The guy was a Northerner, so he loves his chichinga. And so we ended up joking and laughing a little bit. I have to say, the KLM station manager really did his best to get us on the next flight of Air France, who was delayed and was leaving, I think, a little bit over 1 hour after that.
Okay.
But unfortunately, the flight was fully booked. So he is hopefully at this moment, if KLM management doesn't stop him, working on getting back to Amsterdam. Because we were supposed to arrive 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in Amsterdam, have breakfast, flying to Sofia, where my wife has a medical checkup tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. But there's no way we can make that anymore.
I see. You stated that you printed 300 leaflets.
Yes, A5, small leaflets, just to make the customer aware. And it ended with the text, long live KLM, long live Ghana.
Okay.
So there was no bad intention in doing that.
Your exercise. Where did you distribute these leaflets?
Before boarding, the waiting area.
Okay, and you distributed all 300?
Not all. Some are still on the flight. They arrived in Amsterdam this morning, all alone.
Okay. Okay. Nico, you noted that you read the reports about 2 weeks ago about KLM's intention.
Yes.
But when you, in your engagements with the crew aboard the flight,
they denied it.
They denied it and described it as lies. I mean, before you printed out the leaflets, did you have some form of conversation or reach out to KLM information to ascertain its as a fact?
What I have done, you know me, I'm writing articles for several outlets in Ghana, for newspapers. I've been on TV programs. I always do my homework. I never jump into something without verifying my facts. And last week there was a big article in the largest newspaper in the Netherlands, where KLM also denied that it was true. But research into KLM staff and even flying KLM staff confirmed that it was true, and there were forces in KLM really pushing this through, and there were other forces trying to stop it. And the KLM partners, but that's all hearsay.
Okay.
The KLM partners are also not happy with it because they think they can lose connecting flight customers. So KLM said now, we are not introducing vegetarian food for the moment. That was the last comment.
Okay. And you also noted that before getting you off his flight, the captain refused to hear your side of the story.
Yes, but I understand him. A captain is like a judge and the jury and the police at the same time on his flight. And he was, I don't say he shouldn't have listened to my story, but he was in his right to ask me to go off the flight. that is in air law, and that is what my son informed me about. That's his right. And as I said, there were no harsh words, there was nothing going on, so I don't think it was justified. And I think he was wrongly informed by the purser, or he just didn't want any hiccup or steering up in his flight.
How did the entire exercise or experience make you feel?
I'm still a KLM fan, and my whole target, my whole reason for doing this is, number one, a lot of people, not only in Europe but in the US and other countries, don't have a clue what goes on in Africa. They don't have a clue about our culture, and they take this type of decisions not knowing how we are thinking about it. So my first reason was, don't do this, because Ghanaians who can afford flying and can afford flying KLM, they love meat. We all love meat, just like people of Texas and Argentina. So don't take that decision. And if you take it, leave us on the list of countries where you serve meat. That was my whole intention. And my intention was not to damage KLM. And I'm sincerely hoping that I can fly tonight on KLM. And I've got the attention I wanted. The negative attention is something that I never wanted. I read this morning, I hardly slept tonight because my brains kept on keeping me awake whilst the body was tired. But I read some very negative, racist remarks of Ghanaians on these decisions of KLM, and that was never my intention. And I ask your listeners and readers to stop that, because I think the whole thing went out of hand by misinformation of only one staff member. And the person who walked in the waiting area and started to try to take the leaflets away is a Ghanaian, or I think he's a Nigerian, working for KLM. I think he took the wrong decision. He never came to me and asked what is going on. And I think the actions of the purser of KLM were based upon his assessment. But that's guessing. And so please don't come over KLM like they're the worst people in the world. It's a fantastic airline. And we missed our flight, and we missed my wife's doctor's appointment. And we had to cancel. Your wife had a doctor's appointment? Yes, Friday morning, for a small operation. And because we are not living here, our daughter is a medical doctor in Bulgaria. That's why we mostly have this kind of things in Bulgaria. So,
with what has happened now, are you still going to carry on your campaign or crusade to educate the African population?
It's not a crusade. It's not even against KLM.
No,
it's against a worldwide trend to make the whole world vegetarians. And I think the main reason is not pollution of CO2, pollution of animals. Number one, there are people who confirm that, and there are people who are vehemently denying it. But human beings, when you were in school, you have the round circle of things you have to eat, and meat is one of them. It's unnatural not to eat meat, and I'm a human being who also loves this meat. So it's not only here; it's all over the world. The main reason is that when the medical science improved, we were too slow in trying to reduce the number of children we were having all over the world. And now the ones who are alive are the victims of that by making unnatural adjustments to make sure we are not killing Mother Earth.
Okay, all right. We're taking a short break here. We've been speaking to Nico van Stadenijn. He's been telling us his experience aboard the KLM flight whilst trying to educate some of the passengers and other Ghanaians and the crew about the directive or the pending directive by KLM to scrap meat of African males on their flight. My name is Lord Harris Odasari. When we return from the break, we'll wrap up.
Hi, my name is Nanama McBrown. I'm proud to be part of GhanaWeb Road Safety Campaign. Please, do the right thing. Save a life. Brim.
Welcome back. You're still watching Say It Loud. Our guest today is Nico Van Staudenen. He was thrown off the KLM flight because he wanted to educate some passengers and essentially those around him about KLM's directive to go vegan in their African meals. I am going to read some portions of a news article published by Palipan and on the KLM scrapping of meat. It says here that KLM scraps meat from menus airline goes full vegetarian, and says that KLM has decided to take meat and fish from its in-flight dining menus and goes full vegetarian in a bid to become a more sustainable airline. And it further goes on to say that the news about KLM going meatless was reported by Dutch National Daily Telegraph, and Nico cited this earlier in the conversation. And then they cited KLM's Director of Customer Experience, Kijken. Says he told the largest Dutch newspaper that the move to vegetarian food was motivated by the airline's wish to become more sustainable. Mr. Kijken said sustainability is an important theme. We constantly look at trends in society and adjust our menu development accordingly. Right, and so it goes on and it cites him again where he says that almost nobody noticed it, that we no longer serve meat on European flights, and it will be rolled out in the coming years across the rest of the network. So from this, I get a sense that it hasn't been rolled out yet.
Okay. All about.
Okay, so what Nico is showing me here are the publications by some
international and national newspapers.
Some international newspapers, including the
flying
Dutch
magazines.
As well. Great. Now so your input here is that KLM shouldn't deny Africans or Ghanaians who can afford or would still want their meat in their meals.
If KLM continues, number one, in business class with meat and fish and chicken, and they continue to flights where they are scared to lose customers, Argentinian people, South Africans, people from Texas, they are meat lovers. They know for sure they're going to lose customers. I wanted to warn them, include Ghana, Nigeria, all other African flights on it, because Africans are also meat lovers, and you will lose a lot of customers. That's all I wanted.
Okay. After you noted that you put it out there to get the attention of KLM, and you said that some personnel have reached out to you to try and get you another flight. Right. Now, moving on, what else would you want done? Do you want an apology? With everything that you've gone through, what exactly do you want there?
My only target was to try to make clear to KLM not to cancel meat on this flight.
Okay.
And I think and I hope with all these reactions, because it's all over Ghana, it's starting to come in Holland. I had phone calls of 2 TV stations in Holland already by 6 o'clock this morning. I hope that KLM realizes this is a wrong decision. And right now, you have a choice. Not because of COVID, but pre-COVID, you were always asked, do you want chicken or fish? You want meat or fish? If you wanted vegetarian, you had to order a special meal that you wanted a vegetarian meal, or a halal meal, or a kosher meal, or a gluten-free meal.
Okay.
Why don't you just leave it like that? So people who want to be vegetarians can be vegetarians. And that's all I want, that I have a choice. I never go to a restaurant where they don't sell alcohol. I'm not a child. I can decide myself, number one, if I want a beer with my meal or not. I want the choice. People have to have a choice. So that was my whole intention. I'm not looking for anything else. And as I said, the country manager is doing his best. I don't know yet if he's going to make it because he is under management from the Netherlands. But otherwise I have to go to other airlines.
Okay. All right. So Nico, with the experience that you went through, how did your wife take it?
My wife loves meat just as much as I do. And she also knows you can't protest against it. But she was the one hearing the stewardess saying that we threatened her. And she got angry about that. And the rest, she's not blaming me for spreading these leaflets. And she was even spreading them as well, trying to explain to people what KLM wanted to do. They haven't done it. The only reason they are doing it at the moment is that they only serve one meal for everybody, which is a vegetarian meal. It's not a choice because of COVID. And otherwise, with more meals, you have more chances to infect somebody.
Yeah.
But she is also taking it. But we had a lot of calls from Ghanaian friends and who were saying, don't they know in Ghana we love meat? So we've both had a lot of attention this morning. Our daughter was very disappointed. She just graduated as a medical doctor. And she was ready to pick us up from the airport. So now she has to wait 1 or 2 days depending on when we are able to get there. She cancelled the doctor's appointment for us, for my wife already.
Okay.
So no hard feelings against KLM, but I just prefer to fly KLM, and otherwise I have to look for another airline.
So in the event that this doesn't come through, doesn't pan through, I mean, they still go ahead with the vegan meal. Are you going to stop flying KLM?
That one I don't know. That one I don't know, because a lot of times KLM Amsterdam is our transit points, and we can fly through other transit points as well. Weird enough, and I don't know how it came, but one airline who is flying on Ghana already contacted us and offered us a ticket free of charge on their airline if they could get the publicity. And I refused.
Why did you not take it?
Because I don't want to damage KLM, because I know for sure it's a marketing investment. They want to promote their airline at the cost of KLM, and I think the mistake of maybe 1 or 2 employees of KLM don't deserve to be dragging the name of the whole airline down. That's not needed, and that was never my intention with the whole action we took.
Okay, so what happens if or when the country director, the KLM country director, is unable to secure another flight for you to the Netherlands?
Just to be sure, I already booked another flight, and I have to pay the flight within the next hour to be able to leave today.
Still with KLM?
No.
Okay.
Because I don't know what the decision of KLM management is. Maybe they are insulted and they ban me from booking KLM flights. And you know how it is, if you misbehave on a flight,
you can blacklist you.
You become on a blacklist. So number one, we didn't misbehave at all. So I don't think they have any right to put us on the blacklist. I don't think they'll be doing that. I hope they won't do that. But otherwise, from now on, I'll take another airline.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. I hope Mrs. 1009 is doing better.
Yeah, she's okay.
So that's all we have on today's edition of Say It Loud. My name is Lord Harris Idwasari. We've been speaking to Nico Van Staudinine. He was victimized, for want of a better word, on KLM flights last night when he attempted to fly to the Netherlands. Now, his offense was that he was distributing pamphlets or leaflets educating some passengers and other Africans who were going to take the flights about KLM's directive or pending directive to scrap meat of their meals served in the economy class. He says he's still considering his options if the country director doesn't come through and help him secure another flight, because they do need to get home. We'll see how that goes, but I must say that he's also the Bulgarian consul to Ghana and a board member of the State Enterprise Commission.
Former. Yeah.
Do join us for our subsequent episodes on Say It Loud.
So do you know how long the company has been in existence? 22 years?
No, I didn't. It's when you reached out to us and mentioned that you're 22 years, and I think that's shocking. I've followed, GhanaWeb for quite a while, more than a decade, but I wouldn't have pegged you guys for having been in existence for more than 2 decades, and I think that's really positive for you guys. You've served the nation really well with the kind of contents that you've delivered to your readers over the past years, and I think that it's been a pleasure, having worked with you. For me at Soccerbet, and for every other reader out there, I'm sure they'll be really pleased to know that you've been in existence for 22 years. We want to, from here at Soccerbet, what we want to say to you at GhanaWeb, to your management, to your staff, is congratulations for this particular feat. It's been an amazing journey, I'm sure, and I want to wish you all the best going forward for the years to come. Everything that you do, may it work well for you. May you go beyond your boundaries and continue to serve the entire populace.
A wedding that will be the talk of town. Every popular wedding vendor must be on board. The category is luxury. After all, wedding is just once in a lifetime, and I must leave a lasting memory. Well, on the other hand, I want an intimate ceremony, maximum 100 guests. They say that marriage is not all about the ceremony. The real deal is after the marriage ceremony. A lot goes into organizing a dream wedding, but how extravagant should it be? And must a lavish wedding always be expensive? On this episode of Moans and Cuddles, my guest and I walk you through on how to plan a dream wedding without breaking the bank. My name is Paulina Deda Opoku. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Moans and Cuddles on GhanaWeb TV. I am Paulina Deda Opoku. It's always a pleasure to have you here. So today's conversation of Moans and Cuddles, we are taking it a bit higher. We're taking a look at the whole issue, the troubles that come with organizing a big wedding when you know that, it's just beyond your budget. We've heard a lot of stories where couples say that, Charlie, this is not what I planned for, and then after that they are complaining. Some has even led to a divorce, yes, if you care to know. So today we're just going to look at if you want to plan a wedding, should you work according to your budget, should you borrow, and all the other things that comes with it. So I've been joined by one of Ghana's renowned wedding MC, Mr. Pratt.
Hi.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, so Mr. Pratt is a 2020 event MC. Best event MC. Yes. Ladies, you should check him out. He will do a good job for your wedding. Trust Mr. Pratt to deliver. And I also have with me here Bridget, hey, sorry, I was going to say Bridget Jenfi, but my bad. Mrs. Bridget Ama Ayimedu, she's a newly wedded woman, and I can see she's showing her ring. Bridget, what, are you taught how to pose? You like, you're talking to me about the ring.
It comes naturally.
It comes naturally.
Yeah, especially days after getting my fresh, it has to be like
it's
this.
It's not easy, Mr. Price. So, Bridget, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us on Mons and Cuddles. So, remember that Mons and Cuddles is proudly sponsored by Cheesy Pizza. Now, Cheesy Pizza has got all you want from juices, smoothies, jollof, fried rice, pack, and meatballs. We have great deals for you all week round. Cheesy Pizza gives you McCheesa combo every Monday and Thursday. With only 49 cedis, you get one small pizza, fries, and chicken, one Coca-Cola drink at all branches. Tuesdays are Super Tuesday at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Buy your Super Family Pizza at half price every Tuesday for 40 cedis at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Be part of the midweek bonanza every Wednesday. Buy and get one free at all Cheesy Pizza branches. And also remember to start your weekend with special jollof and fried rice from Cheesy Pizza branches every Friday. Call on 026-413-3397 to place your order. Cheesy Pizza, your way. So once again, you're welcome to Mons and Cuddles.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's just get into the conversation. Mr. Price, so you've done over 500 weddings.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. One would say that when it's a woman, a man proposes to you and say, I want to marry you, and then the real ceremony, who contributes? It's just 100-0%. I mean, a man and a woman, should it be a 50-50 or a 60-40 where the 60 goes for the man and the 40 goes for the woman? How do you plan a wedding?
So my first comment on that would be that, you see, when it comes to planning weddings, with respect to the financial obligation, there's no clear-cut formula.
Okay.
So, because elsewhere, I know in the States, in the past, the father of the bride, traditionally, is supposed to take care of the expenses. Then things have evolved, modernity, things have changed. So now what happens that you would have the couple themselves take a majority of it, and sometimes the family come in to take some parts of the expenses. In Africa, it may be a different situation. In Ghana, will be different from what happens in South Africa. So let's make it a bit contextual. In our setting here in Ghana here, what happens? Traditionally, when it comes to the traditional wedding, you know that ideally, the family of the bride, they are being asked to take care of the cost, hoping that when it comes to the wedding itself, most likely the groom will take majority or absorb majority of the cost. Things are changing. People come together and say, okay, let's do a 50-50. Some people will say, okay, when I look at your inflows and my inflow, you earn more, so you are more disposed when it comes to income, so you can spend more compared to me. So what would then happen is that, okay, maybe you do 70, I'll do 30. So I'll clearly say there's no really clear-cut formula to say that take 50, I'll take 50. It depends on the people involved.
Mrs. Ayimedu.
Yeah, I agree with him. I was also going to say that there's no, even when there is, I think that it is flexible enough and it depends on the couple. Because I know a couple where the bride didn't spend a dime because the man gains more than she does, and she was just sitting somewhere and he came that I would marry you, and he was ready to cater for everything. And I also know couples where the woman spends more than the man. So I think it's between the two of you. You sit down and you look at your strengths, who can give what, and then it works for you.
So let's say my husband to be, I'm not married. Let me speak it into existence. He pops up the question, I know he works and I also have a steady job. Some women will say, oh, Sebema dear, he's the man, so I know he can cater for everything. As a woman, Bridget, what would you advise that we do? Even though you know that your husband has all the money, should you contribute?
You would not say you're contributing. I would like to call it support or help. You're helping the man, yes. That is if you have, because there are some men who want housewives. I don't want you to work, I want you to be a housewife and all of that. So if I'm not working, where do you expect me to get the funds to help you? And like I was saying, if you're an Enoba like myself, your parents don't have anything to also support the events. So definitely everything falls on the guy. But if you're working, at least you earn something. You can also support. If I sell shoes, so in the bridal list, there's shoes. My husband's supposed to bring shoes. I don't expect him to go to Accra to go and look for shoes to buy.
Got him.
So even if there are some that I'm supposed to sell, I'll take it and put it inside. It's just wrapping it. It will come back to me and I will go and sell it back to my... It doesn't mean
that woman who want like everything 50-50. But then we're talking about you supporting and everything. So should it be that the person who is contributing more will have a say? Okay, maybe I want this. No, we'll take this out because I'm contributing more. Or you work according to what your woman says.
You see, the reality on the ground is that there are some group of men. Okay, so I have the money. This is what I have, and this is what I want to spend. I have 100K, I have 150K. I'm trusting that you manage it properly. Go and do whatever you want. And if you've observed, most of the men are not really keen or interested with the whole planning process. It's too much for them to handle.
Okay.
So meeting up your planner, deciding on the wedding colors, is it blush, or we know the red,
the
yellow,
colors that.
and then there are magenta, there's blush, there's all
Cockroach
these colors,
brown,
brown, and all these very strange colors. It's too much for the man to bear with. So okay, so let me leave everything to you for you to handle. I can confidently say that out of 10 men, you might likely get 2 or 3 of them who will be keen or interested in every detail of the planning process. Unless, of course, there is some huge monies involved, and then they will come and query, why are we spending this? Why can't we put it here? Or why do we do it here? Now, that's the case when the man is funding the whole planning. How about if they have external funding somewhere? Sometimes, like we say, there are families in Ghana whom their fathers would completely take care of the whole wedding cost. I'm taking care of it. All you have to do, bring me the bill, let me know what it is you have to do.
Just present yourself.
And actually, trust me, they don't even bother having a say. They will only tell you that, let's do luxury, let's do this hotel, I want this type of food, just find the people, bring me the bill, and we'll sort it out.
All right.
There are families like that, undoubtedly. Now, there are also some people who would have to take it up on themselves and say, okay, I'm going to put money in this, I'm going to marry this lady, but I have this amount of money. So, obviously, when you're putting in some amount of money, you'll be interested in where the money goes, and especially the one that would consume majority of the money. So, if I have a budget of 40,000 and you come and say something is 15,000, I'll be interested in what is that 15,000 about, what is it going to do, what can I get, because I'm marking time, I'm checking my account and I'm realizing that no, if I spend 15,000, which is like over 20-30% of my budget, then Charlie, so that is when they come in. But most men really would let it go and allow the woman to take the decisions.
Do you think that men do that because they feel like, okay, if you flop, it's flops, like I've given you the money? Because I've seen a bride to be where she was complaining that it's like my husband doesn't care about anything. I tell him, just say, collect the money and go. At least you want the man to...
You know, sorry to cut you, some people...
I'll start from your first question where he answered about who has rights over the events because he or she brought a higher amount of money. I think that from the onset, we need to understand what we are getting ourselves into. Marriage is not who has money and who doesn't. You understand? You're embarking on a journey that you're supposed to. The Bible says that the two will become one. So you're embarking on a journey that you're going to become one. So how dare you tell me that I've spent more, so I should decide this or that? I think it should be a mutual something. We sit down. Okay, I want to do this. No, I can't do that for you. I'll do this for you. And you should understand. So you should understand the whole marriage thing so that then it doesn't become like one person has. Because like he said earlier, eventually the person will be rubbing it in your face. When there's a little misunderstanding, be like, oh, forget yourself. After all, I spent a lot to join the wedding and all of that. And he has a point because most of the time, especially for our mothers, we the women, so men usually don't have time.
So what we are saying is that they should be more involved in the wedding planning.
You can't force him. You see, there are some men, they're not like, especially when he's an introvert. He doesn't
even when he's an extrovert, I think that it involves a lot of detailing. A lot. So when you look at your guest list, see, I can't have the time to decide 400 guest list, who is going to come? Because don't forget that there are certain criteria people use in selecting their guests, and so they will take their time one after the other. Oh, Ajo Mansa, ne mame, oh, no crime, you want to call top diapers, mame.
Yeah,
Yeah. We are too burdened with other issues.
Okay.
I'm not saying that women are not burdened, but
of course, you are just speaking on behalf of men.
The tendency to hold up a lot of things and deal with complex issues.
Because it's our wedding.
Yeah.
Not because it's your wedding, but because I think it's a natural thing.
Okay.
We are one-sided. Once we are focused on one thing, so I think it's a natural thing. You just have a few men who say, okay, I'm also going to be involved throughout the planning. There are some men who would even follow their wives to go and get the outfit, the shoes, select which type of hair they should put on. There are some men who would do that. Other men, they're like, just surprise me.
All right, sure. In instances where we've heard that some men are saying, okay, the lady says she wants this. All her life, she's been dreaming of this wedding. She wants to sit in a chariot. She wants to... a whole lot. So for a man, before you pop up the question, should you know your woman's dream wedding? So if you know that you cannot handle it, no, I could picture baby Atna.
It's a very complex thing. And I think that conversations usually always encouraged to happen between couples all the time. And so definitely... for a young lady, you've been working with a young man for some time, you get the signs even before you officially propose that, oh, probably this guy wants to form. He might start talking about the kind of children you want to have, the kind of home you want to have. When conversations are tailored, then you are getting an idea, so, oh, you are interested in me, you understand? So I think that it is necessary for us to talk about the kind of wedding that a woman would want to have. I would say the reason why it's become very necessary is that weddings, whether you like it or not, you would spend. As to whether you spend this way, or you spend that way, or you spend that way, there will definitely be an aspect of your money or of your savings that will go into it. And so if my money, 20% or 100% of all my savings, or 120% where the 20% is borrowing or whatever it is, which I don't encourage, if that aspect of my life, I have worked for 5 years and probably about all my life savings, I'm going to probably, half of it, going to invest it into something, I'm not going to get the money back. What it means is that I need to be interested. Once a while, during a casual conversation, you can just pop up. Sometimes it's just testing up. Sometimes watching a movie and seeing a wedding scene. Oh, babe, do you like this? This wouldn't be bad, though. You would get to know what she thinks.
Wants. Okay.
Oh, I like this. Sometimes they will be sending you vendor lists. They'll be pushing you. They will see something very nice, magnanimous happening on somewhere, and they will push it to you. Baby, this one is AF.
Well, you see the wedding Mr. Practice MC. Have you seen what's going on there?
It's giving you a hint.
Yeah.
But it is not bad for people to dream, to have a dream wedding. It is never bad. It is okay for people to have it. It is also never bad for people to say, I want to have a wedding for 3 or 4 or 5 people and spend this amount of money.
Okay. So, Mr. Pratt, on the back of your question, Bridget, you are newly wedded. Yeah, you are fresh in town. The big question is, when you're planning a wedding, should you work with money at hand, or you should consider that, okay, in 6 months I'm expecting some money. Maybe should I go to the bank and go and borrow? When planning a wedding, should you work with the money you have, or you should consider borrowing from the bank or wherever you're going to get it from?
When we're growing, we all had dreams. We all had dreams. I wanted to be a midwife. At some point, I wanted to be a teacher. At some point, I wanted to be a journalist. Today, I'm not a journalist, but at least I'm still towing the communication line. That is not to say that having dreams is bad. But then, once you are dreaming, you should also think of reality. What's actually happening on the grounds. So you have dreams. You want to do a big wedding. And then now you met a man who doesn't have the funds. It doesn't mean that you should go and borrow. No, you can still work your way around it. Okay. So I don't think that you should borrow or go for money from some. I know people who have parents who are ready to support their wedding.
Yeah.
So even with what you have, your parents are adding up. So I know someone whose reception from engagement wedding was catered by the parents. So you just focus on your clothes and what you're going to wear. If you're lucky, that's fine.
So this question is for you, Mr. Pratt. Some people claim that Ghanaian wedding vendors are expensive. Yeah, if you want to organize a wedding, like a moderate one, you spend a lot, from photographer to MC to decor to makeup, you name it. So how do you cut down on costs?
One of the finest things that you need to do is that, first of all, you need to have a budget. You need to have a realistic budget. There are several ways. Some people are able to leverage on relationships to beat down the cost. I know of a gentleman, for all the wedding vendors he brought top notch, he had about 50 to 60, 70% discount. And the wedding was like this, but if you see it, it's because of his relationship with vendors. He has that very good relationship. So you might see it on social media, oh, this wedding will cost like 150,000 or 300,000 cedis because of the caliber of vendors on board. So start budgeting, start planning. So you say that when you look at your projections and your inflows, this is what you can do. Even if you put 1,000 cedis down every month, you can save 5 years for your wedding. There are people who plan their vacations. So somebody will say, I want to plan my vacation the next 5 years. You can plan and save some amount of money for your wedding. The other thing that people need to really pay attention to, there are peak seasons and there are off-peak seasons. If you are going to get married in December, it's very likely you'll pay more.
A lot.
It makes sense with our economics. The demand is very high in December. Families are traveling down Abroche for bar, so that's when they want to have the weddings, because so there are a lot of people in country, so the demand shoots up. It's a peak season. Why do you want to do it in a peak season? You need to think twice about it. An off-peak season will probably be between February, March, April is an off-peak season. So you might decide that, okay, let me put it around that side. That time, Mr. Pratt is not overly booked. So even when I talk to him and I ask for a discount, he's a human being. He's also looking for work and get some money.
Yeah.
Into the bar, I can slash it by 30 or 40%. You are saving some amount of money there.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to push it to December when everybody would have to come. Another thing people really need to pay attention to is that I think that I would encourage people to get planners. It helps. Because what they are able to do is that they're able to track your expenses and let you know. Don't forget that 2, 3, 4, 5 days before the wedding, that is where your expenses will shoot up the most.
Yeah,
I heard. Spikes like that.
I heard.
That is where the unplanned cost aspect of it will come in. So you will spend a lot. You see, that is where people tend to go and borrow. So in the rush of things, let me see a friend, let me talk to somebody who can quickly organize some money for me. Because the thing, I count 5 days, then you have to. So it shoots up. So what a planner will do is that they're able to manage that aspect of the unplanned cost for you very well. Sometimes they use their relationship. Maybe you have discussed 200 food. Food for 200 people. Because of the planner's relationship with the food vendor, now, just a week before, you've shot it up to 400. But they have ways and means to speak to the vendors to manage the cost for you. Sometimes they are good friends. I have friends that when their colleagues are getting married, they can pay 5,000 cedis each. They don't mind. The money is there. Yeah. So if you have 10 of them paying 5,000, it's sorted you. Like, it's sorted
so Amma, how can you use friends to cut down cost?
Oh, you can. Like he's saying, if you have a circle who can give 5,000, you might not have that group of people who have that amount of money to give you, but you might have people who use their time. They'll use their like their strength. I remember during my wedding, most of my mother's friends, they didn't sleep. They were all in the house, they don't have money to help you, but they can come. If you want them to sleep outside till the day, they would do that, to cook rice, cook banku. They will help you. And personally, I think that friends would help. Even sometimes the emotional stress that you go through joint planning and all of that, sometimes just a call from a friend, hello, how's everything going? Sometimes you are tense, and just a call or a message, it helps. So support from friends is not always about financial. The financial one too is very important.
It's very important.
It helps. It goes a long way
to help.
But the little things, if you can't help. I remember a friend was getting married. Then I was at GIG. I was a student. I didn't have anything. So I went to the house when I heard that, oh, this particular day they'll be wrapping their things. I had to go and help. I went there to help. So when I got there, he's like, Amma, this is more too. This is this, that. Oh, my friend brought this. So what are you bringing? I felt so bad. I'm like, so all this that I'm doing, I went there, I don't know, my brother. I went there, even on the engagement day, I didn't sleep. I was there helping with everything. So I think people don't appreciate those things from friends, and it's not good.
But you don't fault them. DJ Genesica.
You know, I understand.
DJ
Genesica.
I'm
not
the one to cater for all.
Then I know that one that insulted me.
I understand.
It shouldn't be like that, as Bridget is saying.
It shouldn't be like that. Because
so we'll take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll delve more into how families can help with friends and the issue of bridesmaid. If you are called to be a bridesmaid, who caters for all the costs? This is Mons and Cuddles on GhanaWeb TV. We'll be right back.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next.
Yeah, I don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational, but that's the beauty of the game.
Today you are denying funny face. It's not my brother. You are denying funny face. I don't know him. You don't know funny face. It's not my brother. You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
Welcome back to Mons and Cuddles on GhanaWeb TV. The show is proudly sponsored by Cheesy Pizza. Now, before we were going on the break, we were talking about how friends can help and all that. But then some people, married couple, have said that, okay, we contacted this vendor, maybe for decor, for makeup and this and that. What we paid for is not what the person delivered. Vendors too have said that, oh, I spoke to this couple, they said I should come do it. They'll pay me in half. After everything, I'm chasing them for the money. Mr. I don't know if you've heard stories like that, and B, I don't know if you've been disappointed or anything. So in issues like that, how do you ensure that your vendor delivers exactly what you're paying for?
I don't know. I don't know how. Maybe a professional planner will be able to speak to that, because you cannot tell, say, a risk now take it, and you're just believing that he'll deliver that day. And the sad thing about it is, on that day, if you get there and he or she doesn't deliver, there's nothing you can do about it. And you're very, so before you patronize someone, you can check their history, maybe on their social media page. Sometimes you can check their comments. Some people like disappointing, or someone who has purchased their products or their services before. So based on that, you can say that, okay, this person is trustworthy, and that you cannot, he or she, but even that, some people will still disappoint you.
I think that what people need to do is to be very responsible to themselves on their wedding day. And how you could be responsible, you are investing some amount of money. At least take some time to know who is doing this. Why is the person doing this? Get to check with other things. So I know that what they do, first of all, that's why we talk about dealing with professionals. Gone are the days when you can't deal with a professional. You could just pick up a random guy, gentleman. Once the person can talk, he's an MC, let me put him there. But they are professionals. For myself and a few colleagues who are in the industry, they know how to work. I have a reputation, I have a brand. Of the over 500 weddings that I've done, I've never showed up late. Never showed up late. So because I have a reputation to protect. There are people that, okay, so if you can't, then the next question someone will be asking, so what if I can't afford you? What do I do? You need to make sure that you check. Learn to itemize things. If you probably could not have the money to afford for a planner who would have to do all these things for you. Learn to itemize things and learn to write things. Whatever you have agreed with your decor person, please have an evidence. It should be in a written document. Demand for it that we have agreed for A, B, C, D. Let the person itemize it and share with you. I know of a particular bride, even though she didn't go for a planner, she planned her wedding from UK. She doesn't know anybody here. But she kept engaging us, itemizing everything. When I ran her through the program lineup, everything, the timing, who is responsible for what. The husband was also involved. And we had to do this via Zoom. The bride was in UK, the husband was in Portugal. We're doing conversations and they planned their wedding perfectly. People usually will not take ownership when it comes to their own wedding, and so they leave it like that. Even when you have a planner, be in constant conversation, engage the person. It is your wedding. This is how you see that you want things to be. You are the only one who's seeing the dream, and you've sold it out to the decor, the planner, and everything. Make sure that as time goes on, day 1, day 2, your guide, are you close to the dream? Is it something that they are not bringing? Be interested.
So you should get talking so that you don't end up surprised. Like, this is not what I want. Okay, all right. But from what we've said, now it's obvious that a wedding is not all about the man. A woman too contributes towards it. So, Bridget, as a woman, when do you start saving towards your marriage? Is it when you're young, maybe from 25, or maybe when the man pops up the question, that's when you start saving? Because sometimes you don't get the time. A man asks you out, okay, I want to go see your parents. And then in 4 months, we are getting married. Yeah. It's a surprise to me. Do I have the money to cater for all my bridesmaids and all the things? So when do you start saving?
In Ghana, the way our system is now, I don't know, because national service, no. Ideally, maybe, unless maybe you have other side business. But even me, when I was on campus, I had businesses. I was selling mashke and other things. But and was asking a hand to mouth. Once it comes now, you're using it for something. So then I will save it towards your wedding. And once you start national service, and maybe you have some siblings or you have family issues you have to cater for, and some are fortunate. Right after service, you meet someone who wants to marry you. What do you have? You don't have anything to say.
Even in school, sometimes people get married in school when you're not having a job and stuff like that.
It is those who work for some time. So personally, what I did was, when the offer was brought to the table.
Which offer was that?
You know, when the marriage offer was brought to the table, I think by then I had finished my service. That was when it wasn't like a proposal. I started talking about, oh, okay, when are we going to do this? When are we going to do that? So I told him that, oh, I need some time to work. So there are certain things that I don't know, personally, I find very difficult asking for. There are some certain things that I find, like my shoes. I feel that those things are petty, and I should be able to get it myself. And at that time, I didn't have anything that I can, send me who train me. I would have to always call. So I told him that, oh, he should give me time. So I think since 2019, and I worked for some time, and then 2021. So when we started the year, he said that, oh, this year, I guess this should happen. I'm like, okay, I have some coins that I can, because I have 4 brothers. I'm the firstborn. What would they wear even on that day? All bills are on me, so I needed to, So I think that, I don't know, there's no rule that at this particular age you should start saving towards your marriage. When I was in Sunday school, my Sunday school teacher used to tell me that you should start praying into your marriage. As for that one, you know that, oh,
they tell us to pray, but then they're saving. They have not heard though. No, it's just praying into your marriage, your future marriage, but savings there. Yes. It's true.
As for that, you can be praying. Even once you are born, you can be praying. That one doesn't cost a thing. But they're saving. I think once you get a job, you can start saving. Once you get a job.
But then I've had instances where they say that, okay, for a woman, when it comes to the list, the items on your list, you should leave it to the man to buy. Which they say is like customary, he's the one coming in for the... And then other women have said, oh, I have clothes, I can wrap it and put it in, it doesn't matter, after all, it's mine. How would you advise? Is it, for you as a man, would you love your woman to come in and support, especially like with the wedding bands and then, all the clothes? So would you prefer that a woman comes in to help, or you take care of it?
So there are different traditional settings that explains this. The West might do it differently from the Northerners. The Northerners might do it differently from the Ghans. And But we have something similar that runs through. I mean, the idea of paying the bride price and spending some amount of money is to tell the whole world that she's a jewel, she's a precious asset. Unyano fosa. What I say, the parents have, and also you want to, you are just expressing, say, I am grateful. This is just a token. I'm not buying.
No, it's not buying. Let them understand that it's not buying.
But I should be able to. So I think that it depends on the two of you. Ideally, I think that the man should bear percentage of majority of the cost on the list. Majority of the cost. That would mean that you need to prepare. That's when preparation comes to play. You need to prepare and bear majority of the cost. Now, guess what? What's even happening nowadays is that even with the bride price that they pay, so you pay like 2,000, 3,000 cedis at bride price. You know what? When the lady collects the money, she brings it back home and says, husband, take it back. She brings it back home to you.
The bride price goes to the, I thought it goes to the family.
No, the bride price is yours.
It's
for the woman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you know, almost share. Okay, we have made about 2,000-3,000.
Hey, Bridget, I bet you. After my mother.
Funny enough, someone saw my list and told my dad, I created one general.
Oh, baby, but if the bride price goes to me,
yes,
then
it's yours.
That one is my money, so you know, it's my capital.
To start something.
That's
fine. So it depends. It's the understanding between the two of you. And you're thinking, people should understand. It's not like that. So it's more flexible. We are human beings. It's somebody you're going to spend the rest of your life with. Okay, so you're cool. That's what. So it depends on the two of you and how you communicate. So there's nothing wrong. People should understand that it's okay. You know, sometimes when you get things for free, the kind of value you place on it, it should cost you. When it costs you, you will know that exactly, but not excessively cost you.
That's what we're preaching. There are some parents who say, maybe you are my child, you are my daughter, you're getting married to this man. Like, oh, mommy, I want an intimate ceremony, so at least maximum 100 people. And the mother says, hey, you've forgotten all your aunties, all my friends. They'll give you a tour list. They'll tell you, go and tell your husband that this is our people. We cannot exclude them. Meanwhile, you know what you want. You know what your husband can afford. So in instances like this, when parents come with so many demands, should they cater for that cost? Should you insist that this is what we have? If you want us to do a buffet, so some people want a cocktail. After that, we're done and gone. But in some period, hey, my friends will come. I have to let them know that it's my daughter who is getting married. So Bridget, in such a situation, how will you handle it?
I think that you should be firm.
You should be firm?
Yes, you should be firm. If you have decided, you have sat down as a couple, you decided that you want to do this,
okay,
you should be firm, because those things will come. Your mom will come and say this, your dad, sometimes even your boss in the office will come and be telling you things that she wants you to do at your own wedding. You know, that person is not related to you, but maybe because of the relationship you have and all of that. So you have to be firm. Because when you are planning for your wedding, a lot of ideas, a lot of people will say so many things. And say a lot of things. But once you are firm, oftentimes it's the men who are we ladies want to know.
I think I want this.
You know,
add this to
it. You know, then your mind is changing. Fortunately for me, the Church of Pentecost has we've made things simple such that every young guy can also get married. You know, people want to get married, but looking at the pressure from social media, this person has done this, so I also want to do that. So they are not. That's what ends up in boring and all of that. So our church like this, we've banned reception. If you want to do it before your wedding, I have to go and sign a bond of 1844 that you will not do a reception. And you'll sign it. Your pastor will sign. Your area head will also sign to show that you're not doing that. And they just want to encourage people who cannot afford such luxurious weddings to be able to do weddings as simple weddings.
So a little Betty told me that nowadays if you go to weddings, give table, it's just going to be empty. So if you're thinking that you're inviting 200 people, like, oh, at least they will contribute money or anything. How true is it?
Very true.
Guests presenting gift items, cash and all that.
Very true.
I think that people, it's gradually fading off. where people give tables. So you might announce gift table, announce it, nothing really happens. Some people would also present their gifts maybe days before the wedding. Now the thing about wedding, the deciding factor for your costs to shoot up is the number of guests. So I can have a budget of 20,000 and do 100. Another person will have a budget of 20,000 with 500 people. You can compare. One guest will have better or quality engagement at the wedding and will feel better. They will eat well, they listen to good music than the other people. So people should take note of this. Your guests, your numbers, your average spend per guest, you should always put it into consideration. So if you have planned to do 200 guests and you know that you're averagely spending about 200 cedis per guest, that's your plan. Okay, mommy says 3 days before, she says, I have 50 guests. Okay, mommy, I'm spending 200 cedis per head per guest. So if you have 50, 200 by 50 is 10,000. It's okay, it's fine. It's fine. But you see, the reason why they do that, let's not forget that in Africa, marriage is between two families. The reason why it happens is that when you were young and you are not studying, there was a neighbor next door who could check up on you to make sure you are who you are today. A lot of people have inputs in our growing up. And so naturally, when you grow up, they're excited. They want to be part of that beautiful grand day. So that is why they want to get involved. So if you are coming in and you want to support me, maybe you are bringing a cow, you are bringing one full chicken, you are bringing this, it's allowed, it's opened. But if you are not and you're going to add up numbers, I'm sorry, it's beyond my budget. You should be firm and say it is beyond me. However, let's try and find ways and means to manage that. Either, okay, probably they're not coming to the reception, you host them at home, or because, so I'm not going to, because of your extra list, going to change my dream wedding, which I've matched with my budget. I know this is what I can do with this money. But because you are adding up the numbers, it will distort the whole thing. And also, there are very good deals. Look out for very good deals as well. People forget that. Vendors give out very good deals during certain times of the year. Look out, whilst you're on Instagram, that's why you need to speak to the professionals. You can get very good deals. I've had professionals, when you come to me straight, I'll charge you this amount of money. But if you're coming through, probably Paula, who is a planner, I'll reduce it because of the relationship with Paula. Okay. So these things are always there. So you could, and people should understand that there are different grades and different levels. If your money cannot take A vendor or B vendor, find somebody who is equally good. Not because some people, because they want to cut down costs, they just go for anybody. They will mess up your event. Find somebody who is equally good, and then you say, okay, this is what I have. And be realistic with your budget. This is what I have. I have 10,000 cedis. This is what I want to happen. The person will say, okay, let's take out this element, that element. Maybe let's not go for tables. With the same table, there are different other options. Something different grades that will still look good and presentable. So let's do it.
So wedding planners do help, and then sometimes they help come.
A lot of professionals do.
Still on the gifts, my dear.
The gift table day, my sister, is sad. It is sad because, let me use myself as an example. I had over 500 people at my wedding. But when I got the book from the gift table, it was less than 100. I'm like, let's go for me. Nothing. But like he said, some people before the event, some people cannot help you financially. So we had one woman in our church who sells cassava and condo. Another person sells tilapia.
That's all part of the gift.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
So probably if you want to add up
those
ones, they are. It makes sense. But on that day, the gift table day. See, those days, at least when you cry, you get some cup, silver. Now I think those things are fading out. People bring envelopes money, and we like the envelopes too.
But some people are saying that they want the envelopes too.
Yes, people put down their Momo numbers for people to even send. People put down Momo numbers. And actually, what is even happening is that there are new platforms for your guests to even issue payment once they receive the invitation. So they set up, so things are advancing. So you set up an invitation platform, you send it to you, you receive the invitation. Once you come, even at the wedding, it's been activated at the wedding. For people who want to give their gifts, you can pay. So once you issue the command, you can pay via mobile money, Visa or anything. And then, so things are really changing.
So those who are planning their wedding, I think we can put this one in the whole money thing. Yeah, because sometimes someone might want to give, but then they don't have physical cash.
Those who bring the small cups and silvers and things. You open a very big box and you open it and it's just some. I some small plates with us.
We can do better. We can do better because once someone invites you, the fact that they say, "Oh, you're invited to," I'm inviting you to my wedding. At least they think that okay, you are good enough. You've been close. So let's show some love. Let's show
some of the ladies are just coming to slay, to show their addresses and
they need
go
content. Hey,
yeah.
They need to feed the content. There are people are viewing. They need to tell them I was there. Some.
All right, sure. All right, sure. So remember that the show is proudly sponsored by Cheesy Pizza. Now, based on what our guests have said, I know you've learned a thing or two. So if you are planning a wedding, I can use some of the suggestions that they've made. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Monson Kado still continues.
From the dawn of time, people have engaged in several businesses. With the onset of technology and innovation, life has relatively been made easier. By using debit or credit cards,
mobile banking.
Thank you. And your favorite, mobile money? Tech has indeed married business. On BizTech, we spend time with faces behind known and upcoming businesses in the country.
Learn more about the new technologies and innovation,
as well as find out about the trending issues in the world of business.
Join us as we serve you with a variety of compelling interviews, projects, and others right here on GhanaWeb TV.
You're still watching Monson Kados on GhanaWeb TV. Now remember, the show is proudly sponsored by Cheesy Pizza. Cheesy Pizza has got all you want from juices, smoothies, jollof, fried rice, spag and meatballs. We have great deals for you all week round. Cheesy Pizza gives you cheesy combo every Monday and Thursday. With only 49 cedis, you get one small pizza, fries and chicken, one Coca-Cola drink at all branches. Tuesdays are Super Tuesday at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Buy your Super Family Pizza at half price every Tuesday for 40 cedis at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Be part of the midweek bonanza every Wednesday. Buy and get one free at all Cheesy Pizza branches. And also remember to start your weekend with special jollof and fried rice from Cheesy Pizza branches every Friday. Call 026 413 3397 to place your order. Cheesy Pizza, your way. So as part of today's conversation, I had a peer discussion with some of my friends just to talk about the whole issue about planning a wedding, how to cut down costs, and all the drama that comes with it. So you take a look at it.
Hey, but me, I want a big wedding. I have to have a big wedding. Look at this. Let me see. Look at that. Wow, you have a gown.
This girl, why? Are you going to finance your own wedding or something?
Why are you getting married?
I wonder.
Not soon, but you know, my future husband is just around the corner.
You have a wedding? So you want a big wedding?
Yes, I want a big wedding. Like the largest wedding.
Me, with COVID experience, I don't think I'll ever advise anybody to go for a big wedding because I've realized that sometimes people take loan for these weddings.
Okay.
And with my COVID experience, it was something that was unpredicted. Like it just came and people lost their jobs and you know, you are back to square one. What if I take a loan and
you can't
pay and COVID comes? How am I going to survive? I'd rather have a discussion with my partner.
I want to ask her, you were saying I want a big wedding. Yes. Are you financing?
Are you paying for the wedding?
Oh, everything will be on the guy.
Well, if I have the means, definitely. Right now, dear, you know, I'm upcoming, you know. So when it's time, I'll definitely have the means and support my husband.
So is it going to be a 50% or you just...
No, I don't believe
50,
we understand that the man
Why
is...
50,
in our home, we believe that the man is literally buying a woman. So he has to take a cost of everything.
Everything. And she is paying expensive and extravagant wedding.
I decide what I want you to buy, like I want to buy myself. Sometimes I feel maybe your decision in making my dress choice won't be nice. I'll tell you that okay, I'll take bear the cost.
Yeah.
But when it comes to basic like me, Nimatu, I should tell you to take 50%. I take what I want.
Let's draw the line here. I think that a lot of you want big marriages.
Yes.
You want flashy marriages.
Yes.
But we all know where it ends up.
It's
Eventually, it all ends up at the point where the man finances a lot of it. I don't have a problem with extravagant where it is, but I think that sometimes we must be a little reasonable when we are going to marriage. Like Dima said, beyond even COVID.
Yes.
Yeah. What are you looking for? Maybe we should define what extravagant is.
The decor, I have to have some doves in the sky.
Oh,
With some chandelier lighting.
If you are not getting married now, you would be talking this way, but when you get to that point, that is when reality sets in. It is money,
I know,
and
right?
it is dreams. Yes. So if the money is not there, can you have the dogs running
No,
around?
what if my partner can afford the land?
He can. Eventually, it comes to the man.
Because at the end of the day, I don't mind having maybe Shatawale as my wedding. And he's ready to afford Shatawale as my wedding. You will call it as an extravagant wedding, but I don't see it to be. Maybe he doesn't see it. The thing is how much is too much money.
Okay, but
so if you can afford it.
So should planning be made with resources available at hand, or you can borrow some?
Me, that's what I'm saying, that with my COVID experience, I don't think you should loan to do a party.
And I support
when you pay
that.
back. But if you have the money there and you have future, people plan for their weddings.
Yeah.
It takes years, people do joint accounts.
Okay.
If you have that and it won't cost you in withdrawing such a money for an event, fine. But if it's something you have to now repay, people think you get gifts, you get money. I can tell you that you can be doing your wedding and you
open the
not get
envelope and you
anything.
have one CD in it.
A lot of weddings.
Nobody goes for it. But if you have it and you say,
but if you have good friends, that's when you will be receiving the thousands and the 2,000.
I don't think you should ever borrow to get married.
So good friends
never
play a big
well,
part.
you see, it's not
Your
necessarily
network of friends.
It's not necessarily that. You just need to plan your ceremony just for yourself. Never put your mind on anybody at all. Regardless, even your parents. I don't know how much or what kind of contributions. I'm not saying this because maybe it was not done, but
the family,
I didn't
the family
need it.
comes in to help you, especially the bride part. If you're having the food,
once in a
especially
while.
the traditional one, it is the family, the bride's family that takes care of that. So that is where they come in.
But
to
there are a lot of
support
families too that don't.
But if it is the big wedding, it is your event.
And you want men's cook.
Yes,
To
feature.
And that's
Let's
there.
not forget
And
the
you
doves.
Dogs.
Let's not forget the doves. And you
But nobody should ever borrow.
Borrowing to start a marriage means you are starting your marriage in debt.
Yes.
Yeah.
What if you are going
That's
to
the
borrow?
end. I know, right?
You are going to borrow 10,000, 2,000, or maybe 20,000 for the event, with the hope that at the gift table we receive 20,000 or 30,000. It will surprise you that you go and open your envelope and then you have one CD in it.
But even as
you get utensils
along the line, when you take a loan and maybe something happens or he gets an accident and you've taken a loan and everybody has come to eat and they've left the party.
And
Have
they
you
praised
wondered?
you. Your wedding
Have
was
you
good,
wondered
your wedding
what
was
will
good.
happen if he loses his job the next day? Anything can happen. From then I didn't know. I wanted a very big wedding. You know, if you can afford it, Kempiski.
And the major thing that make wedding or events planning very expensive is food, accommodation,
Decor.
photography.
Exactly.
I remember when I was planning mine about 2-3 months ago, and then we contacted the food vendor. Okay, in my mind we wanted to feed 300 people, jollof rice. She was quoting 10,000. I said,
For jollof rice.
For jollof rice, 10,000. And I said, okay, then we'll do reception. Because that is food though. Deco hasn't come. Media hasn't come. You have to even hire an MC for that.
Yeah, let's come to the bridesmaids and the groomsmen. You see, most of the times the bridesmaids, you are supposed to sew your own dress.
I'll ask again.
Imagine you have a friend cut out for the lace you wanted to wear.
I know that
You the bride. Yeah, you can put a lot of people in debt. So because of your wedding. I'm promising you that I want to be rich, not one year. So I would cater for my bridesmaids' dresses and all of that. But should they, pay for everything themselves. Or
at
least the bride and the groom can
if not,
exactly.
It depends on the relationship the bride has with her friends. If she's not very close with them. Mine, for instance, I didn't choose the fabric for them. I gave them 2 options. Okay. Either we go for this one or so. It was 2 of my bridesmaids that went to town and they chose that, okay, this is what we want. Okay. And the price was quite cheaper than the lace fabric that we go for. Maybe I had this 170 cedis or 100 cedis. But what we opted for, it was like less than 20 cedis or 30 cedis.
Hey, good for you.
That's one. So it is all about planning.
That's for my friends.
You have very reasonable friends.
My friends right now have to pay about 1,500 just to be a bridesmaid.
Why?
What? Are you the one getting married? I was seated somewhere and said, oh, my friend, come and help me. The lace she chose. 65 cedis per yard. I have to buy 2 yards.
And she's not supporting you in any way.
No.
So you have to pay her
the necklace and earrings.
But what kind of friend is
that? And then the sewing, the designer is taking 150 for the traditional.
You should never feel
100
bad
cedis for
somebody's
white wear.
ceremony.
It shouldn't be
That's
the makeup.
wrong.
You've not heard of the makeup.
Tell us.
$40. Why? I'm in Ghana.
Why is she charging Michael Jackson?
Because she lives abroad. And I'm in Ghana. I was saying my sister in Ghana. Me, last I had 50 and I'm but you two, you're telling me.
No. There's people in Ghana charging 500 cedis and above.
Yes, but come to our level. Come to our level.
Before you show,
for just 1 hour.
I think you should know their
financial status.
I think if you invite me, first of all, I will feel okay. I'll look at how can I support you. If taking the cost of my outfit will help you manage certain things, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But even if I can afford it, doesn't mean you should let me sew a dress for 1,000 cedis. Even when on a normal day I won't wear that. I think you are pegging me like there's extra cost.
So these days people will be like, oh no, I don't want to do it. I have a wedding these days. It's all means to just sweep all the costs.
This is what someone did, and I agree with the person. And I've always thought that is the best thing. If you are going to get married, your bridal team don't necessarily need to be the people who are your friends. You can strategically select the people to be your bridesmaids. So a friend of mine did that. He looked out for people who could afford the dresses, who could pay for it without complaining.
But
they are people he knows, of course.
We are in Africa.
Put them in other roles. Listen, put them in other roles. And if they don't understand, those are not your friends. They don't really understand. Otherwise, you put a lot of burden on me. You want me to pay for? I don't know what I bought for my friends. I got my guys. All I did was get them the brooch or what are they called those lapels or so for their black suits. That was all I got for them. But they paid for everything.
I remember when I spoke to my friends, I told them that please, you all have wigs. You've been wearing wigs to wear to church. Please use your own wigs. And I'm not going to tell you that we are going to use wavy, straight. Use your own wigs.
Well, my friend
you all have heels. So they agree. Are you going for silver or gold? You all have gold heels. Which one are we opting for? They said, okay, based on what we've chosen, we'll go for. So it was kind of
easy for you.
Understand
communication. I told them I don't want to financially burden them. I was taking care of their makeup for the 2 days, but I didn't want to financially burden them because I knew that wig will cost you about 500 to the 600.
Even depending on your grade, grade 12.
So I told them, please, you all have wigs. Use the same wig you've been wearing to work for church. Use it, and then use your own heel that you've been wearing to work or to any outing that you do.
Turned out
nice.
Tell that okay, you have to buy my new
low budget weddings. That's what they call it.
It's not low budget. It's not low budget. It looks like the event.
No, it's not.
It's a well-planned wedding.
No, it's low budget. Low budget doesn't mean cheap.
No, that's how we understand.
You had like
low budget.
I think a problem with the I think it's
low budget.
No budget is like they had a budget and then they cut down costs to the cheapest. But yes, our parents, if our parents want to take part in the wedding, like for instance catering and all of that.
You should bring the money.
If they want it to be big,
bring the money.
Would you want your parents to get involved?
My father-in-law wanted food. I told him I can't afford it. He said I'll pay. I said thank you. And we had a wedding.
My father surprised me. My father paid for my cake.
That's all.
And even I think 1 week to the event, he sent me 3,000 cedis.
That's right.
I was in the office when I received the Momo alert. It came at a time I wasn't expecting it. Yes. Because I had worried them in other aspects. So
how about other people? They want to cook. Like if you want to put your drinks in high stress and then serve your people for me. Yes. You can't say you can buy any answer.
Oh yes.
Sometimes you can marry into a very rich family. They have a standard. They want it. I think in that situation, allow them do whatever they want to.
Those people don't call for caterers.
No, they should contribute, but they shouldn't force you, the man or the woman, to go extra mile to bear a cost you can afford. If you think you are my husband, if you think you are from a first class family, I think you should find a way to sort it out. You tell me, please, I'll take care of the food because of how you want it. Because me, from where I'm coming, I'll do a normal food. I won't go for men's food. But if you want to keep a standard or maintain a standard, and you think I can afford it, don't overburden me. Don't tell me to go for men's cook. Tell me, oh, I think I'll take care of it. I think it's even respectful.
I just want to add to what Nima said. Nima said something very profound about the fact that you just need to stay within your means. So, and also, I also think I'm not married, but with a few people that I know are married, I don't think you should have a certain expectation when you are married, because in marriage you have to still maintain it. So your spouse is also watching what you are doing for them. If you're not able to come through for the wedding, you should be able to also come through perhaps maybe a birthday or something. Every level should be the next one. But if you go and take have a very extravagant wedding, and then now the birthday you just give her something, she'll be like, and it causes problem because there's an expectation that happened to me.
Let's take it my life.
I can't want to
Besides the financial distance, I still want a big
let me also tell you. I also wanted a very big wedding. My partner said, okay, we just go to the court, you sign, we have the 2-in-1, and I get you a gift.
Yes, the 2-in-1 wedding, they will say a good idea.
Yes, it is. It saves you money. Imagine you come.
Now what about mass wedding? Mass wedding.
Mass wedding is bad. Mass wedding is bad.
Okay, maybe I get you a Jeep Wrangler.
Okay.
Wow. Who doesn't want Jeep Wrangler?
So now to our guest. We've heard a lot, we've said a lot. I know it's important that we had this conversation because unless you decide not to marry, but then one time some of us we want to marry. So there are some things that you should know to avoid the mistakes that some people have made. But then when it comes to planning, some people say there are certain unnecessary things we include in our budget. Mr. Pratt or Bridget, have you identified anything that you might, like, maybe this thing we could have done, we could just do away with it, but then it costs a whole lot of money. What are some of the things that we can say that these things are so not necessary?
It differs from person to person. Okay. It depends on the couple or the individual, because I would say that a bridal train with many bridesmaids and groomsmen is not necessary, but it's worth it for someone else. I would say that, reception is just a waste of money and time, but for someone it is. There's no formula on how to make a wedding. There's no particular formula. Some people, when you contact especially the deco people, they'll ask you, do you want a lot of floral works? Do you want it to be exaggerated? Do you want this? So it depends on what you want.
Somebody has money and will just go and buy a motorbike worth $100,000. Is it necessary? It's not necessary. You can use $100,000 to buy a whole mansion for some other person. But you see, it's subjective, like she's saying. So it depends on what I want. So if I want something glamorous and loud, that would inform the inputs, because the outcome is that I want something glamorous and loud. What it means is that I need a 70 trained bridal party because I want to make a statement. I want it to be loud. For all you know, I have struggled though. I've had several broken hearts. Plenty.
This table.
Plenty. University level, some girl be show me. You call Juma National Service. You call a girl so they are finally. For you know, I want to prove to them that hey,
come and see my wife.
Come and see my wife.
Okay.
I need to make a statement. That is me. What we are trying to do is that weddings have become is the ultimate is like a good start for something. It's a narrative. You want to tell a story. Now it's gone beyond just being ceremonials. People are trying to add the intimate and personal touch because it should be reflective of what I've been through. So that's where it is going. That's the level it's getting to. So there's this lady who recently did a wedding and it was a whole fairy tale. She dressed like Cinderella. She's always wanted this.
Right from.
Like, yeah. She will come in the ball with the horses. She's always wanted this, and it was very beautiful. For you know, be a whole question, Cinderella, fatal.
Yeah.
That's exactly. So you need to do something you are comfortable. One can say nice attire. We share one. Say we attire. We be a share. Say we attire. But one watch then we feel good. And for me, that's what I advise a lot of people. Once it makes you comfortable, it doesn't put pressure on your finances. So no pressure. Enjoy. It's your day. Enjoy it. If you think that just doing cocktail, sharing cheesy pizza,
this is your own thing, you go according to
once you're comfortable, because you should be able to look back and say, I did my wedding, I wanted it this way. One guy said, and trust me, it's
some people, even whilst they are seated at the events, they are thinking about the thousands of CDs.
Yeah.
You might be, the groom has frowned. He doesn't want to laugh.
And it's real. It's true. I've had weddings that I've managed that you will do everything. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to pop champagne, blah blah blah. Obey your ding, hey, obey your ding. On say you, then you know say matter day, problems day, and then yes, I know sir, it has serious impacts in your after the wedding. Yeah. I mean, somebody would tell me that a wise man once said the easiest part of the entire marriage process is the wedding ceremony. That's the easiest part.
Easiest.
Then no crampo wo brea. Now, because there are a lot of things. You want to get into something. Let's not forget you have rent to pay. You need to get a now there you cry and easy cry. Say a dino wako GW no common TV we 2K. Is there
That's true.
2K TV 4K 5K. Hey, light out the talk.
Now the curve TV there on
it's not easy.
It's not
so
easy.
People should be realistic. It happens if you want your fairy tale wedding is different from her fairy tale wedding. Maybe her fairy tale wedding is to have the grandmother seated next to her, and that is everything for her. So there is no standard of wedding there and because there are no 15 bridesmaids into there. The way I measure a good wedding is how I wanted it versus how I got it.
Bridget, let me throw this to you because I've been a victim. Someone will invite you, I want you to be my maid of honor, bridesmaid. You are excited, only for you to know the cost involved. 2K, as Mr. Price is saying, 2K, 1K. KK. So if you're a bride and you invite a friend to be your maid of honor or bridesmaid, should you cater for the cost or the bridesmaids are supposed to? Because we need to have a discussion on this. It's getting serious.
From the beginning, it is you. You want this type of wedding. Okay. And you are calling on these people to help you. So you should be ready for it. At least, if for nothing at all, you should buy their dresses or something. Some people want that glamorous wedding, but they don't have the finances to help their friends. Then you, the bridesmaid, you become, as for me, I've been victims. But the one that I enjoyed was my first bridesmaid duty. I didn't pay anything. It was just bring your body and let's go. Yes, she sold my dress, my hair, everything. And when you are doing that, you are so happy to help the person. But when you have to buy your own, sometimes you even have their shoe already, they will say no. I want all 15 of you to wear the same thing.
They'll tell you, I want this designer to
and they'll
sew your
take
clothes,
you to their own shop. Maybe you know some joints in Mokola that is cheaper. But no, I want you all to buy it from here so that when we are doing the vendor, this I will mention that person will make me trend. The whole it's headache.
So can you back out if you get that invitation and then the cost is just going beyond?
The problem
can
is
you
the
back
relationship
out?
you have with the person.
Yes. That's what I was going to touch on. You see, the fact that we shouldn't. Why do you have a bridesmaid? Why do you have a groomsman? Why do you have a best man? There are people whom you have a relationship with. Paul, if I've known you for 15 years, you've been my friend, you are getting married, you don't even need to tell me. The kind of help I will give to you because of the relationship that we have. So on the day, if you tell me, I will wear everything you want me to wear without even knowing that I have to spend money on it because I have a relationship with you. Some people do not have a relationship with people. And just because they are seen in church singing with you, or they are saying, oh, this is my friend. Oh, Paula is on TV. And they do that a lot, especially when they're a bit popular. Oh, Paula is on TV. She's my friend. I mean, they say, oh, let me add it. It will add some class to it. Yeah, the buyer building.
You've not been budgeted for that.
Be realistic. If I don't have a relationship with you, there is nothing wrong with saying no. I'm sorry, I cannot be a part of this. Because you see, you're going to add up to the love story. I should have a relationship with you. I don't know why I would appear, go, and doing all of that. And I barely know you.
Meaning now 5K.
So I can support you with what I have, what I think that when I wear I'll look good. The problem comes in when they are dictating what you should wear.
No, but it's not
the lace is 500 cedis per yard. Meanwhile, you can afford that.
And they'll take you to their seamstress. Maybe your seamstress will charge you some 20 cedis. Their seamstress is charging
me, if
like
I can, I will say I can do.
Yeah, it happens. You need to be very realistic.
So my point is, if you want it this way, then you should be able to cater for it. But if you are telling me that, oh, I want you to be part of some brides don't care, even if you don't wear the same heels. So far as it's gold, everybody is in gold. Maybe it's silver. But some people are very particular. I want everything the same hairstyle. Maybe I just braided my hair today and the wedding is next. But I said no, you have to go and change it, and it's on your own bill. So, and I also think that it depends on your circle. You should also look at your circle. Maybe you have friends, you have
completed school. Where are you going to get that money from? Exactly.
But if you have friends that you've worked for some time and you feel that everybody can fund.
Please, if you want them to appear all glamorous, know who to call. You cannot go and call Sister Rama's town. They expect that you should buy a lace 500 cedis. Exactly. But Bridget, who pays for the bachelorette? Now, the party before the wedding. Men do have their own. Women too, we take our bachelorettes very seriously. So do you contribute? How is it going to go? Because some people also have a plan, even for the bachelorettes. They know where they want to have it.
People should not undermine the value of relationships. If you don't have a relationship with people, these things won't come natural. You will now start forcing it. You will start forcing it and trying to pick people who would come and fit in and do it and just because I'm spending 1K. When in any deal 5K. Because I don't know you and I don't know how people are able to do that. But you see, the whole thing about wear the same shoe, the same dress, a uniformity, and it's nice. So if it's this shade of what shade of brown is this? So all brown.
Cockroach brown.
Cockroach brown. If a cockroach brown, the reason why I say F, we're all in cockroach brown. We've done the same hairstyle. F need na yet to us. Then want to know cockroach brown, but mosquito brown.
Uniform. All right.
I don't know about the guys, but what I know is, for the ladies, the bridesmaids are supposed to do it to surprise the bride. So you, the bride, you're not even supposed to know. Like sometimes you be somewhere and they'll call you, they'll plan everything. But now the brides themselves, I did a bridesmaid. The bride herself planned everything. She created the group. When she finished that, she left the group and she told us to continue. So she now had her own venue, everything. She had put everything. Then she said that okay, if we have anything to surprise, so that it will look like a surprise. Then she exited the group.
Maybe she didn't want to burden.
Exactly.
Maybe she had a particular taste. But
that makes sense. That one helps.
You let me space now, because it be a too much of.
Yes, that makes sense.
All right, it's been an interesting conversation. Lots of education stuff here. But finally, any words that you have and advice for people who are planning to marry and those who will find themselves in debt because it can't be fair. Like they are dealing with it. A whole lot that have come after the marriage. What would your advice be, Mr. Pratt?
So my advice would be, let's do a cost-effective thing. it's your story. You are going to tell your story. You should see yourself living on the day. You shouldn't see yourself dead after the day. So you need to manage your cost very, very well. Look out for deals. Look out for best places. There are a lot of, even if you can't afford the most luxurious event centers, there are very good hotels who are allowing spaces for you to manage your 1K, 2K, so that you can manage it. So please, my advice to people, get professionals, understand what you are doing, and please take ownership. Take ownership of your own event. As much as 1K, 2K, 3K, something of yours will go out of your pocket. Please be interested in what goes into it and take ownership. Find professionals. Find people who have good history, and they are professionals. They will deliver on time. They will deal with excellence. These people have better relationships and they can help you manage your costs. Don't just go for anybody. If you know that you can do or you can fall on the people to execute your job for you, fine, that's okay. But please be interested in your own wedding day.
Your focus should be on planning the marriage and not planning the wedding. If you have that at the back of your mind, you are looking at what lies after the event. Oftentimes we miss that. Our focus is on the wedding, the engagement, and then the wedding day. So everything is there, you know. So once we finish the whole thing and people have come to eat, drink, and they have gone back, then we are now going into the actual thing. Then reality hits us. Some of the ladies, once they meet the guy who can give them their dream wedding, this is my guy, I'm going for him. But maybe there's something about him that you can't live with, because marriage is for the rest of your life. I'm stuck with Mr. Imidu for the rest of my life. But I like the first night I go home, I'm like, so I'm not going to be seeing my brothers every day like I see them. I won't see my dad. I'm so attached to my dad, and he hits me, I'm like, hey, this thing too, Charlie. Charlie.
Your husband is only there.
You know, and the funny thing about marriage is, even if you fight, you still wake up and you see him beside you. You can't run away. You have nowhere, because my mom, if I go home, she will sack me. She will sack me to come back. So I think people should think of marriage. They should plan towards marriage and not focus. It's fine to plan your events, because after, you know, you should plan it. But once you're planning your events, think of the future, think of the aftermath. If you have that in mind, you won't go and borrow and do all those things. If you're planning for your future, Charlie, people have plans. People have plans that right after the wedding, I want my wife to start driving this car, and they put their monies into those things.
Put on your social media handles where we can reach you, and you know, if anything you want.
All right, so it's Mr. Pratt everywhere. MYSTERPRATT. Mr. Pratt, MYSTERPRATT. Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. That's the same name.
All right, Mrs. Aimedu.
I mean, who's going to look for me?
You sell shoes, Mrs. Aimedu. You are hot cake. All the heels that you sell, stuff
really?
like that.
Okay, I sell shoes. So Instagram, G's Collection. Facebook, G's Collection. G is DZII''S, G's Collection. But personally, Instagram, Bridget Jifa. Facebook, Bridget Nanama Jifa JMF. I think I have to change it to Bridget Aimedu.
Mrs. Aimedu. Once again, congratulations on that. Thank you very much for coming. So I did the show with Mr. Pratt. He is a wedding MC, and Bridget Aimedu. She's an assistant director at the Ministry of Information. She also sells heels and lads. So ladies, you can contact her for all your needs. And also special thanks to Cheesy Pizza for sponsoring the show, and also Kiki Sade, she glammed me up for today's show. My name is Paulina Deda Opoko, and it's always a pleasure to come your way. We'll be back with the next episode of Mons and Cuddles.
Powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next.
Yeah, I don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational, but that's the beauty of the game.
Today you're funny face. It's not my brother. I don't know him. You don't know funny face. It's not my brother. You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
Welcome to the Friday's debate here on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Joseph Adamafio, and today we're coming straight from the Alisa Hotels, where Coach Milovan Rajevac has been lodging at. Where Coach Milovan Rajevac is set to become the next Black Stars coach, with all things being equal. Well, according to our sources, Coach Rajevac arrived in Ghana on Monday and has been lodging at their hotel since. According to our close sources, some officials of the Ghana Football Association have been trooping in and out and have been having some conversations with the coach. Well, we step on the street to find out from some Ghanaians what they think of the appointment of Coach Milovan Rajevac, who is set to be appointed as the next Black Stars coach. My name is Joseph Adamafio. Come along as we find out from Ghanaians what they think about Milovan's appointment.
And the chairman, Milo, appointment,
oh, Milo, dear sir. Obi be say why bia magana pen I say na ne modern bono na swen cause we share baby odi ekoduru ya e chire Ghana for here dey eyi ne ba ko share nsa na in fact me na nyamede to me dey nyamede na sanko fa oyenchi no mso me sakwa ko fa ne dey a me dey me penation because why we coach papa say na ye na football na so da bo trainer enipa bi yenye dey yenya wo mse ke nya butrom na ke maintain sa coach no a up to na bi kura na ka ogusu ehye yensa ana ogusu ye coach o de be duru pempensuo bi yes akofa ne de me de as a Ghana man de o so on samra no mra me fa yensa nko yensa hwe de be sa asibiem ti o mu ma ne mla Milo dear, we good. Oba, yeah, na Sabe who say yes. Send your case so no dear, the kind one, and Kaye, Timoji dear, Mufanamela. Yes, yeah, there, you better manage.
So for him, Milo, the decision to reappoint Milo is a good one because he has a good track record with the Black Stars, having helped Ghana to reach the finals of the AFCON in 2010 and helping Ghana to reach the quarterfinals of the World Cup in 2010. So for him, it's a good decision, and he hopes that his return will boost morale in camp and ensure that the Black Stars return to the World Cup and also perform better at the next AFCON.
There was contract in Angas and Nibas, almost fan. I'm very important no man is on my own meeting, no my coach one side, they say. And say technical board, no more organization, no more for coach, and I say these officers are winning. Sa organization, more group and some for coach, and some these officers. And one at the end of the Sam Milovano, yes, Savage, Serbia said no, no, touch like and it is how we need to intimidate Black Stars coach in the Probi Papa de Amana. I say, I'm dissolve board in Ankasa. Board in Ankasa, no problem if you coach you. Board in Ankasa, and when if you intimidate me, so as Omundis of Yom. Omundis of Yom, not Black Stars in Ankasa, or players as almost fair. The day you knew they are blue. You are blow more by this now. The day you knew are you brothers? Oh, you are playing mechanic, Mr. Machominia. You were players on between your boy. You know, your side TV. You know, you players on between your blast. What I said, who bet your Captain Man in Pone, they might Jonathan Menzo, they don't or reject Captain Man. Young Fanco keeper. Ah, Captain Man, you know. The day you did the Captain Man every bench never or visit in the bench. The Captain Man every inside in the oh no, Nina, and your coach has someone. I didn't tie a idea why, and yes, a coach has someone. And we did players now, so problems or and how can I say problems? Your problems and are you so sit here? Hey, I'm over boy, I'm going to be a Ghana and qualified.
Are you accepting goals in 2 matches? And right now,
a whole blaster captain, Obobo Yendi. A whole blasters captain. England on my friend. What be some England on my friend? I'm on friend. Ah, master. I'm dissolve away in Ukraine. My coach has I'm dissolve. I'm fat him now. I'm dissolve.
So for him, he believes that the 3-member committee set up by the GFA to appoint the next Black Stars coach didn't do a good job, so he thinks that they should be dissolved. He also talks about Coach Milovan Rajivak's appointment that is not all that good because some handlers of the team will still be interfering in the Black Stars. And he goes ahead to talk about the Ayu brothers. He thinks that it's high time that they are relegated from the team and the coach gives other players the opportunity. He says that for a whole Black Stars player to be playing in the UAE is not a good decision, but I told him that Ayu has been able to score 2 goals, but he disputes it. He believes that the Black Stars player or as a Black Stars captain should be playing at the top level in football.
Milovan right back, baby, or Cornita Metri. By this time, I am because Ghana no for coach. You any procedure be our papa be our fans or the for coach. Because our for coach also your assessment. Coach your fan on coach team there. Short 2 years. On coach team there. Na my be fans on the coach blasters. Sisi anu you in your maybe or currently the time at sisi anu there. Yep, a coach, competent coach, I'll bet to me a boy. I be now on starting fan call and one be the last starting.
So you just heard from him. He says that Coach Milovan Rajivak has done well for the Black Stars in the past, but he believes that moving on, it's not Milovan that we need. That we need a better coach, a competent coach that can lead us to the next level. He says that Milovan has been able to do some good things in the past, but moving on, he doesn't believe that Milo deserves to be the next Black Stars coach.
What's way? Sa coach no house aba no. I am paying for interest. I am paying for interest. It's a man no wa Ghana ha.
I 2 years.
Wa Ghana be coach here. Then o de here.
Ala we dey.
Yes, it's going to be buefu. No, you don't land the buefu. I am paying for no interest percent. I don't pay dinti. And I don't was a very secret. No, never got at the hotel. Obi any more. No, hotel on the Ghana. As I say, hotel at the man. I use it. Sorry. I use this.
But government anya diama we friends blasters coach. Last time, President Apia got now, but think about
I don't know some of the ama GFA office. Now, I don't know the coach. I don't know the coach. Not penny the or the year office. Yes, a bendy. That's a bien. Oh, the man, oh, my boy, oh, my actually, my. It's going to be a percent to be a man for being anyone in a day. I was our friends of Mla.
The man we just spoke to says that the GFA 3-man committee that was set up to find a new coach for the Black Stars are rather serving their own interests. That's why they decided to appoint Coach Milovan Rajevac, because he believes that there are a whole number of coaches out there in the world. Why did the committee decide to go in for a coach who has been with the Black Stars, who wasn't able to win any trophy with the Black Stars? He believes that the coach Milovan Rajevac is also sometimes not happy when we play some European teams like the Serbian national team, which we met at the World Cup the last time and we defeated them. So moving forward, he thinks that we should go ahead and look for a better coach.
Milo there, Debbie. Oshe Milo ne pass record so. Enye. Se Thailand national team mi pam Milo a. Black Star. Enkoye, yet me for Milo. And omumpe obi obe build Black Star no from the scratch. You play coach every man a time. Say 5 years no from build there. Like the way Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire. Say now there was a time now. Drug by the Toure. I'm up heavy now. And I'm man a time. Oba no you drug by free team no. And no jai team no. Or the captain bad man Toure. Or to control kakra the omo koje. So if you just say a young coach. Coach is war. Otoado or more. Why are there? I say on pay team no. But I'm convincing enough with enough fans. Obet my bed team. Never man a time. Because of the quick fix there. Ghana yet to qualify group stages. It's a quick fix. You have a coach of about a year no one deliver the NA. Because of the likes of Kamal Dean, Monet, Kudus, Mono, Mono. You need a coach of about 6 years or more fix it into the system. You need a coach. I say enough coach every man a time. Say, every now I'm for team in the man. 100,000. You have a man. $100,000. Say, I'm for man. I'm only the budget. You can never 75 because he's a world class coach. We're for African Cup now, and African terrain so on him corner nina. It's your I'm for man. Every night. Why? Hello.
So for he disagrees with the reappointment of Coach Milovan Rajevac because he believes that Abe Renard could have done a better job, irrespective of the money he's demanding for. Whether 100,000, he believes that the handlers of the GFA could have negotiated for him to take, let's say, $75,000 because he is a world-class coach. And he goes on to talk about the likes of Kamal Din Suleiman as well as Mohamed Kudus, who are growing up to become the key players of the Black Stars. He believes that Coach Milovan Rajevac will not be able to let them find their place in the team. So those are his thoughts.
The money is too much. It will reduce money no dia. No am na me fati say. Just Africa, just Ghana for coach na obi a team perform. Akwasi apia ba na obeto to papa so. Ni asika ko na kura de ko obefa ko to kura wanyewu. Ono ne nsi sa. So bi Milo. E dey say Milo no ye better, but scan it so. Ghana for ye say wa hu ye yam na ya le nti no. Yes na say one so no anye no ma meboa ye. Ni say aye ye hia moa. Hia moa. Awo team. That one. Milo.
So those were the thoughts of some Ghanaians on what they think about Coach Milovan Rajivac's return as the next Black Stars coach? Well, a number of people have been talking about his performance since leaving the Black Stars. He has managed to coach the Qatar national team, Al Hilal, as well as a couple of national teams, including the Algerian national side, and recently he was with a club in Thailand. But a lot of people think that the 57-year-old is not up to the task. Let's find out from some other Ghanaians or experts what they make of Coach Milovan Rajivac's return as Black Stars coach.
So simply, can Milo get the job done? He can. I mean, the last time he was here, we were playing some, let me say, good football. We used to call it one goal project, but it was getting results. We ended up having one of the best moments as a national team during the 2010 World Cup, you know. And if only the football decisions, the technical decisions, I would say, is left to Milo and his technical team when it comes to player selection, and especially player selection, if it's left to him and his team, I hear Tuado will be assisting him, and we hope for the best. But most importantly, the men in suits should leave the football and its handling to the technical people. You know, we've been hearing it every day, we've been rumoring it, and when you speak, they tell you no evidence. But recently, we've seen players come out to express their shock of how they even ended up in the national team. So I think Milo can get it done with the right players now. I mean, selecting players who are on merit, deserving. Yes. Milo can get the job done.
Looking at Milovan, he has really helped us, considering the fact that he was our coach when we went to AFCON 2008 and he took us to World Cup 2010. Everybody can attest to the fact that 2008 was one of the best years for us as a team, and 2010 was really good. Many people have raised concerns that we should keep our local coaches, we should bring different coaches and all those things. Well, it has always been a thing that we want to empower our local coaches too. But looking at the performance of our recent coach, CK Akono, I would say if you put the life of Black Stars into the hand of Milovan as compared to CK Akono, Milovan has really helped, and we can attest that he has helped us to the World Cup and all those things. So right now, Black Stars as a team, we need somebody that will push us forward. Black Stars as a team, we need somebody that can take us to the Qatar 2022. So to me, Black Stars life in the hands of Milovan will really be the best thing and the best decision that we can make. Many people can go against it and say we need our local coach, but for me, it is the best move.
Well, can Milovan turn the fortunes of the Black Stars once appointed? I think it's a very interesting question, I must say. We want to talk about his pedigree. What is he capable? What is his record as far as coaching is concerned? Of course, this is his second time coming into the Black Stars, coming to manage the Black Stars when he came in 2008. And managed to lead the Black Stars to the World Cup, and actually did well at the World Cup. Actually gave us our best, appearance at the World Cup. As far as the coaches for the Black Stars is concerned, he's, definitely one of the best foreign coaches we've ever had, if you take into consideration his record with the Black Stars. So as far as qualifying to the World Cup is concerned, he's done it before. As far as doing well at the World Cup is concerned, he's done it before. But the aftermath of his stay at the Black Stars is something that hasn't been really exciting. He's had a stint, in Qatar. He's had a stint in Thailand. He's had a stint in, Algeria, I think, and it hasn't really turned out successful. In Algeria, he lasted for just 2 months and he quit. He managed it 2 matches, then he quit, went to Qatar, and also went to Thailand. He didn't last long for there. The aftermath of his coaching career post the Black Stars hasn't been promising. So it begs the question whether he still has the capacity to be able to deliver like he did in previous time. Well, for me, I have a little hope in him, little hope in terms of measuring the hope. I'm talking about some 40% of hope in his capacity to be able to do well in his second term. Just about 40% of it. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything magical. Maybe he might qualify the Black Stars to the World Cup, but clearly the biggest quest for him is going to be at the AFCON. How well he's going to do at the AFCON is going to be the substantive issue, because clearly the focus for the Black Stars at the moment is not just to do well at the AFCON, but to win it. So if he doesn't win the AFCON, it begs the question, is he going to stay as the coach of the Black Stars and even be given the opportunity to qualify the Black Stars to the World Cup? Well, he has 4 matches so far this year. There are about 4 matches left before the year ends for the Black Stars, and how well he's going to fare in all of these matches is going to be telling. But like you asked, is he going to do well? I think he's going to do quite well. I don't think he's going to win any trophy for the Black Stars, but I think he might do well. He might qualify to the World Cup. He might go a little further in the AFCON. But by and by, it's always going to boil down to the quality of players that are at the disposal of the Black Stars.
I don't judge coaches when they are new into a team. But then for Milo, I believe he has the players to be able to succeed. If you look at Thomas Partey, Alfred Duncan, Emmanuel Jesse, Sulemana, and the likes, I think that he has the players. All those, and I think he'll be able to do something with the team. Although he has not been able to achieve what he did with Ghana since he left, I think that Milo has the players. And if you look at the assistants and coaches he's going to get, Otuado of Dortmund and Maxwell Kumido, I think he'll be able to do something with the team. Well, I wouldn't judge him, but then let's see what he can do.
I think it's a yes or no answer. Yes, because he has the experience, he has done it before. 2010 World Cup as South Africa, he helped Ghana to go to the quarter-final stage for the first time. At the same time, the same year, 2010, Angola AFCON, he also helped Ghana to go to the grand finale where we lost to Egypt. So in terms of experience, I think he has it a lot. But since he left Ghana, he hasn't been that top-notch good that we know. And we should also remember that 2010, we had players like Ajimel Bedu, the likes of Didi Ayew, the likes of Sule Ali Muntari, Richard Kinsey in the goalpost. We had a couple of players who were big, who were good. But let's compare to current Black Stars players. We do not have that top-notch, that world-class players that we need. So therefore, I think the second coming of Milovan is going to be tough for him, because that top-notch player that he met, we don't have it currently. And him as a coach also, I think his form has also dipped. So it will be very difficult for Milovan to, turn the fortunes of Ghana, unless maybe a magic. But it's a football, anything can happen. So I think going for Milo, it isn't bad at all.
Coach Milovan has tried and tested things here in Ghana. But of course, it was in the old administration where Nyantechi was the GFA president. Now we have a new administration, so things won't be as it's supposed to be. Now quickly, Milovan, his period in Ghana between 2000 and 2010, Ghana had a lot of achievements that we became the best African nation in World Cup qualifiers to reach the quarter-final stage. And that was a plus to Ghana. Now, then there was a culture that Ghana used to play football, that since Milovan left and we went to the next World Cup, that's 2014, the pecking order, or let's say the interest for Ghanaian in football has gone down. Now, Coach Milovan is being tipped after the sacking of CK Akono to take over Black Stars. And looking at him leaving the shores from 2017, he has not even had any appointment coach. Leaving Black Stars, he went to Qatar. After 6 months, he was being sacked. So that shows how poor he had over there. And he resigned after 2 matches in charge of Algeria in 2016. And also in Thailand, he have to, after 9 months, he has to resign in April 2017. Since then to now, Milovan has not coached any club nor national team. Now the question asking that can he change the fortune of Black Stars? It's been 14 years since we had a taste of victory of a trophy in Ghana, and since he has been involved in, or he has been in Ghana before, then we believe he can change the fortune. But my answer is yes and a no, and I'll give two clear indications, then we go from there. Yes, because he has been in Ghana before and he understands the system we play. But let's not forget, it was in the old administration. It was in the old administration. Now we have a new administration. So my question to, if it should be yes that he can change the fortune, he must be allowed to do his own selection, or he must be allowed to do his own job. Because I believe if a coach is allowed to do his own job, then he has the mandate to change the fortune of Black Stars. Let's remember what Sika Akuno said. He said when he was being taken from office, his selection was based by influence of the management body. So that means that there's a problem there. But I personally think Milovan can't change the fortune of Black Stars. Milovan can't change the fortune of Black Stars. It's hard time you have to go forward and look for a more capable, or more, let's say, a more experienced coach that can do that. And I believe Milovan is experienced, but with due respect, he can't change the fortune of Black Stars.
I believe the short-term plan that will be given to Milovan Rajvac is to obviously qualify the Black Stars to their 4th World Cup. I think that's the short-term plan. And if you ask me if he'll be able to do it, I think it will depend on a lot of factors. First of all, yes, he's not the Milovan that we knew way back in 2009 and 2010. But then I'm saying it will be a lot of factors, because there comes Otuado, who is reportedly going to be the assistant coach. Depends on how he works with his technical team, how they function together, whether there will be interference from the GFA and other top officials concerning collapse. If everything is left to me, I think that for the short term, he will be able to qualify the Black Stars to the World Cup and maybe play some parts in the AFCON in January. But whether he will be able to take us to the final of the AFCON, or even he'll be able to take us or do some wonders he did in 2010 with Ghana in the World Cup, that is another question for another day. But talking about short-term plan, I believe with Otuado coming in there and with the experience that he's gathered, though after leaving Ghana he has not had a good stint, I'm sure that he should be able to qualify Ghana.
So those were the thoughts of some football pundits on what they think about Coach Milovan Rajvac's reappointment as the next Black Stars coach. Well, the next couple of days, the Ghana Football Association will be announcing Coach Milovan Rajvac as the next Black Stars coach. Well, the Black Stars have qualified for the 2022 AFCON in Cameroon, but are seeking to return to the World Cup after missing out on the 2018 edition. Can Milovan Rajvac deliver on that? Well, we live to see. My name is Joseph Adamafiu, and this has been another edition of Friday's Debate. Thanks for watching.
Powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next.
Yeah, I don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational. But that's the beauty of the game.
Today you are denying funny face. It's not my brother. Today you are denying funny face. I don't know him. You don't know funny face. It's not my brother. You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.